Grand Rising. Sorry I'm running late. Had the hardest time getting over to Lady Chase, but we here now. And thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase in conjunction with the Frontline Black News. This is season 11, episode 8 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase in conjunction with the Frontline Black News. And I'm your host, Chan Chroma. And we're joined with the other host, Lady Che. She just woke up. And we should be joined here shortly with Shabaka San Corey, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhancer, which I'm the co-executive producer and co-host of. And on this season 11, episode 8 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, we will be discussing several topics. The first topic is that coach in Michigan. We did cover this last week on the Frontline Black News, but we had to give Professor Black Truth's take on the situation. So, Sherrone Moore, Twilight of the University Bedbuccs. Then we got the Brown University mass shooting, which we also covered on Frontline Black News. We got an update for Professor Black Truth. And then we got California's first Black cultural district. It's coming to South LA, or otherwise known as South Central. It's about goddamn time. Then new landmarks help preserve LA's Black heritage. Again, about damn time. Today is the father of Negro history's birthday, Carter G. Woodson. Would have been like, oh my God, I'm trying to remember, like 130 or something right now. Um, so yeah, R.I.P. to him. His birthday is today. That's the one that brought us Negro History Week, which ended up turning into Black History Month. Then we got Trump cancels 85,000 Nigerian visas, impact on immigration, on U.S. immigration. Trump expanded immigration restrictions on these countries. And last but certainly not least, we got, should there be a global Pan-African reparations push? And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced is based on the 50th anniversary of the founding of the original Blacc Panther Party for Self-Defense. We started on Blogtalk Radio back in 2016 and have been around for 11 seasons now. I can't believe it's been 11 seasons now. I've been around for 10 of those. And shout out to Mad Dr. D. He held it down for 5 of those years. Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced covers the Black experience from the beginning of time until 10 minutes ago. And it's also a part of the Frontline campaign that has recently, within the last 2 years, moved from Blogtalk Radio to Streamyard. Please make sure y'all like and share the broadcast, family. Please join us on Streamyard, YouTube, Frontline Black News. The links to all of our channels are in the description, including Frontline Black News, Frontline Black News 2. Please make sure y'all sub to Frontline Black News 2, because that's the backup channel, just in case they take Frontline Black News down. And then we got my personal page, Just a Paris, aka Chan Chroma. Sure y'all sub up to that. We get the latest on what's happening here in Denver and Aurora. And then we got Lady Chase channel, The Revolutionary Agenda. Make sure y'all sub up to that. Hopefully she'll be doing the RBA this week. And then we got Jay Militant, What's Cracking TV with Jay Militant, our cousin out the Bay Area. Make sure y'all sub up to his channel. And we got Kukizi, our brother out of the Mile High, Montbello area. His YouTube link is also in the description. Make sure y'all sub up to his channel. He makes some dope B1 music, FBA music, B1 FBA music. So make sure y'all check him out. He actually does our intro track, usually for the Frontline Black News, when we're on a paid StreamYard subscription. And then also check out our brother, the Church of Black Power, who's out of Watts, California, who's now in Houston, Texas. His YouTube link. Sorry, y'all, I'm still waking up myself. His YouTube link is in the description. And last but certainly not least, we got our brother Black Truth United. He did a video earlier. Check that out. on that damn Zanzu, a new Frank Zanzu, that damn teller that's talking down on FBA, talking about we ain't got no culture and all this other madness. So make sure y'all check out him. He also came up with the B1 Rolodex, which is a modern day green book for B1 FBA businesses. So the links to the Rolodex is in the description, as well as if you want to submit a business to the Rolodex, that link is also in the description. Then we got the petition for reparations. Please make sure y'all sign it. The change.org petition. That link is also in the description. And we got Lady Chase GoFundMe. Make sure y'all support Lady Chase GoFundMe. And we got Greg Marcel Dixon, our brother out of South Carolina, who's now he's still in South Carolina, but he ran against Jimbo Jangles Clybourne, and he's a teacher down there in South Carolina. And he's still in the school district, so make sure y'all support his GoFundMe so he can sue them for misconduct after 10 years of dedicated teaching. Then we got the Chicago family whose mom was attacked by students. The GoFundMe is also in the description. And YouTube, we got copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use. The purpose is criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And I do not own the rights to the music. And if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. In all 9 areas of human or people activity, and that is economics. Oh shit, Chicago's meeting. Damn, the Chicago City Council budget meeting just started. I'll have to check it out later. In all 9 areas of human activity, which is economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. And some say health and nutrition. In all 10 areas of human or people activity, and that was by Neely Fuller Jr., who transitioned earlier this year in February at the age of 95, produced Justice.com. And when you're a black person or captured by any race soldier, you must never fuss, fight, or flee. Comply and defend yourself in court. Also by Nellie Fuller Jr., produced Justice.com. And last but certainly not least, we got racism, white supremacy. It's conscious and subconscious behavior to maintain white genetic survival, to prevent white genetic annihilation. And that's by the great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, who transitioned back in January 2016 at the age of 80. And our good brother out of Los Angeles, California, Tariq Nasheed, paid for her funeral along with several others that we lost around that time. So RIP to both Nellie Fuller Jr. and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. And shout out to Tariq for paying for Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's funeral. So those are the topics. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Greetings, Lady Che. Do you have something to say to the people?
Oh, no, that's just you.
Okay.
We're good, everybody. I I hurt myself
Oh, no.
really bad, and I guess the medicine I take to sleep has like kicking in high gear. So I was kind of shocked, excited all at the same time to just hear, you know what I sound. I'm just waking up and I got just real something. Just woke up. Other than that, I'm very good chill. So the time is very spread over, so like another time I like walking. But either way, let's have a good show. See where it leads. Carry on.
All right, thank you for that, Lady Che. So the first topic is that damn tether from Trinidad, Sherrone Moore. Yeah, well, we have to get Professor Black
It's
Truth's
everywhere.
take on it. So Professor Black Truth's gonna give us his take on the situation down in Michigan with their head coach, who just for misconduct, sexual misconduct. Let me share my screen. And we'll hear from the good professor to start off Grand Rising.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. An esteemed and high family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Stop me if you've heard this one before. An esteemed and high-ranking member of the University of Michigan faculty has been caught up in a sexual scandal, and as a result, he got his walking papers. This man is, or rather was, someone who had been at the university and climbed the ranks, clawed his way to a supreme position, only to now fall from a great height. Now, the person I'm talking about is University of Michigan Provost Martin Filbert. He was fired in 2020 after multiple accusations of sexual misconduct surfaced. Filbert was the second highest administrator at that university. The accusations against him was that he engaged in multiple sexual relationships with university employees. For nearly his entire tenure as provost, he was in simultaneous sexual relationships with at least 2 university employees, sometimes more. He pressed some of these women to send him explicit photos, which he stored on his university-owned devices, and he engaged in sexual contact with them in university offices, including with one woman on a near daily basis for a time. Well, I guess he was trying to teach everybody that those hormone-fueled teenagers and 20-somethings weren't going to outdo him. The University of Michigan said that that scandal involving this former provost Filbert was responsible for them coming up with their policy that prohibits most supervisor-employee relationships. So this guy got canned while Me Too was going strong. That's probably a big part of it as well. But wait a minute. Maybe I'm not thinking about him. Maybe who I'm thinking about is Michigan State University, who fired their head coach, Mel Tucker, in 2023. Yeah, I know it's not the University of Michigan, but it is a university in Michigan, and he was their football coach, by the way. Now, the accusations against Tucker was that he allegedly made sexual comments and even played with himself while on a phone call with Brenda Tracy, an advocate and rape survivor. Tracy reported this alleged phone call with Tucker to the university's Title IX office, and she played the damsel in distress extra hard, saying, "The idea that someone could know me and say they understand my trauma, but then reinflict that trauma on me is so disgusting to me, it's hard for me to even wrap my mind around it. It's like he sought me out just to betray me." Keep in mind, this woman Tracy said that she was the victim of a gang rape. Now, even if the accusations that she made against Tucker were true, he didn't put a hand on her, but she's talking as if he and some friends violated her. Now, you can say what you want about these accusations, but the one thing you can't say is that lewd comments over the phone by a lecherous middle-aged man is the same as rape. Tucker may have offended her, but he did not rape her. So for her to say that he re-inflicted that trauma on her is to say that he raped her. That was the inference. For his part, Tucker called Tracy's allegations completely false and said the investigation into his conduct had not been fair or unbiased. Though interestingly, he also described that phone call as an entirely mutual private event between 2 adults. That's kind of a peculiar way to describe something that he had also said was completely false, but okay. But you know what? Mel Tucker isn't even the case that I'm talking about. Obviously, what we're talking about is the Trinidadian American coach Sherrone Moore. He's accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. This staff member had previously concealed the relationship, but when the university got a tip about it and investigated the woman's phone, that's when she broke up with Moore and confessed everything to the university. Well, apparently Moore didn't find out about it until 2 days later, because on December 10th, he allegedly went to this woman's apartment and prosecutors say barged his way in, grabbed several butter knives and a pair of scissors, and said he was going to kill himself, telling this woman that he was going to make her watch while he took his own life, that she had ruined his life and his blood was going to be on her hands. Of course, he didn't go through with it, but she did go through with calling the police. They arrested him less than an hour before the university fired him for violating the university's policy against supervisor-employee relationships. And the female staff member who first tried to conceal her affair with Moore before she finally was compelled to have to admit to it, what happened to her? Well, she gets to keep her job. That's what happened. And as for Moore, he's facing charges of 1 felony count of home invasion, 1 misdemeanor count of stalking of a domestic relationship, and 1 misdemeanor count of breaking and entering without owner's permission. And now he's awaiting his day in court. I've said it, and these silly Negroes who spend all their time around white society to the point that they think they're part of it, they just don't get it. The fastest way to bring a black man down is to show that he can't keep his pants up. And for too many of them, apparently some woman from the dominant society is the golden blackjack that never misses. Because you know what? There was another person at the University of Michigan who also got canned for violating the school's relationship policy, a guy named Mark Schlissel. And who was Mark Schlissel? He was the president of the University of Michigan. He was the guy who was running the place. He got fired in 2022 after an investigation determined that he was sending numerous emails to a subordinate where he was hitting on her every chance he got. And what's really interesting is that when they fired Schlissel, the Board of Regents posted a letter that they had sent him that said, quote, with regard to the actions of Martin Filbert on August 3rd, 2020, you sent an email to the entire University of Michigan community writing that the highest priority for our regents and leadership team is to make our community safe for all. Ain't that something? On his way out the door, that's what they chose to rub in his face. Hey, remember that black guy, the former provost? Yeah, we got rid of him because apparently he was jumping on everything that moved on this campus. Well, this guy Schlissel didn't hesitate to crow about it, to get on his soapbox and be sanctimonious, and now they had to fire him too. Hell of a way for the university president to go. But I'll bet you didn't hear too much about University President Schlissel getting his pink slip. And speaking of people getting pink slips, Emmanuel Acho tried to go ingratiating himself with the white media by dumping on Sherrone more. Apparently nobody ever told this guy about how people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw bricks. We all know that Acho wasn't saying any of this criticism from a place of conviction. He was saying it because he's trying to audition for a job. This is what all these bootlicks do. They trash other black people in the hopes that some white media executive or white producer will see it and want to offer them a job to do it on TV. Well, the white people in the industry are letting Acho know that he's on the outs and he's going to stay there. They're reminding him that one of his former co-workers had said that he and Joy Taylor were sleeping around, and that no, these white colleagues in the industry, they hadn't forgotten about it. They weren't going to let this go down the memory hole. So his podcast thumbnail had the intentionally provocative title, How Can He Be This Dumb? Well, Emmanuel Acho ought to know, but he's just proven that sucking up to the white powers that be is the only trick he knows. And that brings me to the final point of this morning's briefing that must be discussed, and we're going to go in detail about this one. Universities pay their staff and administration very well. They should. They've got all that money that they overcharge students in tuition for. And where do your hundreds of millions of dollars go? Into the pockets of the regents and the school president, the provost and the sports teams and all that. At least for the coaching staff, they get that money. The players get nothing. When you work at a university, especially if you're in the sports program, they pay very well. Those black athletes bring in billions to these schools, and it's a huge windfall for the university. In the case of Mel Tucker, he had a 10-year fully guaranteed contract worth $95 million. That meant that he was getting $9.5 million annually. You know, there's a lot of NFL players who ride the bench and don't get that much. That's what he lost when he had that entirely mutual private event between two adults phone call. Then there was former Provost Filbert. He was getting paid $570,000 a year since at least 2017. This guy was knocking down over $500,000 for a job that most people, even on the university campus, couldn't tell you what the hell he was supposed to be doing. And of course, Trinidadian American Sherrone Moore was getting paid $6 million a year through the 2029 season. He had a buyout clause in his contract for over $13 million, but since he was fired for cause, the university probably won't even have to pay it. And that's what these white media outlets have been loving the most about this story, that these black men who were getting paid millions have lost it. That was the part that they wanted to see happen. That's what they considered to be so newsworthy about these stories. In fact, when CBS wrote about Sherrone Moore's contract, they mentioned that the university might not have to pay him before they even mentioned how much he was getting paid. That's not the way a logical sequence of events works. They're supposed to actually tell their readers how much he was making before they mention what the contractual limitations are. But it just goes to show what's front of mind for the white media, especially when it comes to sports. As I've always told you, the sports page is the place where these white media bigots get to spew their anti-black hatred unadulterated. That's why they love about the sports page so much. They get to sit there and say all of this blatantly racist stuff about black people, but then they hide behind what is supposed to be a flimsy veneer and claim that, well, we're talking about a coach here or a team or a particular player. We're not making a blanket statement about black people. This is just about sports. Now, of course, they know that everybody sees through it, and that's the point. The entire point is, yeah, we're spewing our anti-Black hatred here and we're getting away with it. That's the idea. They don't want to hide what they really think. And in the case of Moore, they were so eager to tell everybody that he probably won't get paid. They went ahead and said that before they even told their readers how much he was missing out on. Doesn't matter if he goes to jail or not. They're far more interested in seeing a Black man lose his money than they are in him losing his freedom. Why do you think the white media was so eager to pat themselves on the back about Michael Jackson? Because for a while, they thought he had lost all of his money. They were wrong, of course, but for them, that was supposed to be the real victory. You look at what happened to Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Both of them went to prison, but their incarceration wasn't the end of their careers. In the case of Mike Tyson, he got out of prison and he immediately went back to making millions. And as for Floyd Mayweather, he just got richer and richer and richer. What they want is to be able to say that they clawed all that money back out of those Black men's bank accounts and left them with nothing. That's supposed to be the real victory. That's the entire point of making these Black men into these high-profile examples. But understand, I only say that in regards to how the white media tries to use these individuals as proxies for the Black community. When it comes to the Martin Filberts and the Mel Tuckers and the Sherrone Moores, there's a lot of things we can say about them, but the one thing nobody can say is that these men are victims. They were not victimized. These guys chased after exactly what they wanted, and this was the predictable result. It just goes to show there's a ton of people who spend all of their time on university campuses, and yet they're plumb dumb. What could possibly be more important to these men than their money? See, it's the same mental disease that these Black athletes and entertainers suffer from. Their desire, their overarching obsession is to be in the dominant society's circles or in bed with someone from the dominant society. That's more important to them than whatever money they're getting paid. These universities tell them no fraternizing with people on campus and certainly not your coworkers, and that also extends to guests as well. And yet these guys decided, well, maybe it doesn't. We got to be honest about it. Black men who are in sports, or at least in the orbit of it, they tend to have a reputation for not being very bright. I'm not saying that it should be that way, but I am saying the reason these guys become targets is because sports is one of the few places where the playing field is level and hence Black competitors dominate. But also because these guys have skanks trying to get at them since they were in middle school. And while it's true that the majority of Black athletes are married to Black women and would never even consider someone from the dominant society, it's also true that from Jack Johnson to Sherrone Moore, white power has long known there's a number of Black men who would. Strength is not just an excess of power. It's also an absence of weakness. These guys who apparently have a weakness for blondes, and they always wind up putting themselves in the trick bag. And it's not like these men are single. Mel Tucker had a wife. She divorced him. Martin Filbert was also married at the time that he had his university's scandal. In fact, in the university's report that they wrote about him, they specifically mentioned his wife, not by name, but they referenced her, and they referred to him being concerned that his wife was growing suspicious of all the texting he was doing with these women he was shacking up with at the university. And of course, everybody knows that the Trinidadian American Sherrone Moore is married to a white woman, and he has children by her. So apparently one white woman wasn't enough for this guy. By the way, remember how in yesterday's briefing I showed you how Robin Roberts tried to racially pathologize the Diddy trial by saying, you think that hip-hop culture is on trial too? Of course, hip-hop culture being a euphemism for Black culture. And I told you that when it comes to these predominantly white arenas, the movies, government, schools, etc., which is everything except hip-hop, Robin Roberts and her ilk never racially pathologized those scandals. She and her pals never point to them and ask, do you think that university culture is on trial? They never do that stuff. But things like this are precisely the reason why so many Black men who are in these arenas, especially if they happen to be sports related, they're looked at as not being very smart because they keep falling for the same trick bag over and over again when it's blatantly obvious what's happening. Hell, they put themselves in a trick bag. They just jump right in and then tie the thing off. It doesn't matter if it's the jock or the provost of the university, which truth be told is one of those esoteric titles that's so unique it sounds more prestigious than dean of the school. No matter where they are, it always works out the same way. All of these guys are looking for approval, ultimately. They're addicted to it. And that approval matters to them more than their reputations, more than their careers, more than their marriages, more than their children, more than their own futures. When it comes to Black people, white power believes in doing brain typing. They try to make sure they know what kind of individual they're dealing with. And in the case of these Negroes in politics and academics in particular, They're right a lot more often than not. But this latest incident with Sherrone Moore, it just goes to show universities may be billed as institutions of higher learning, but when your entire reason for going there is to get approval from the dominant society, the only thing you're going to major in is how to suffer. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors: Mouse, Wally Bilal, Terry Freeney, Kenneth Prescia, and Samora Morris. Salute to them, and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
All right, so that was the good professor's take on the situation with the Michigan head coach, Michigan University head coach, Sherrone Moore, damn Tether, Mr. I don't see color, what color source sees y'all black ass. And like Professor always says, white supremacy always breaks his tools. What are your thoughts, Lady Cherry?
It's already past the wake-up call for jail, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he bonded out, but yeah.
I just think that, you know, he knows better. He did what he did.
Exactly, crew. Fuck around and find out.
Right. He could have been. So, being that he did what he did, he already knew the consequences of that shit. So, here we go. Can't play victim if you already know. If you know generationally what the consequences are.
White supremacy loves a cruel joke, especially one that takes a long time to pay off. And they set this fool up for the fall, and he fell right for it. All right, well, is that it, Lady Cherry? I got cuties. I don't have no snacks. I got some cuties and some brownies. All right, so moving along, we got the situation in Rhode Island with the Brown University mass shooting. Remember, all hush hush on the suspect. They said that they had a suspect, then they let him go. Now they got another suspect that they're looking at. I don't know if they've arrested him yet or what. The other one they arrested, they had to let go.
Come and lay down.
Go lay down, Aquarius.
Come lay down.
The B1 dog.
All right. Down to
So again, Professor Black Truth gonna give us an update on that.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the Professor, and this is the moment of truth. Yes, it has happened again.
We begin with the hunt for the gunman in the deadly shootings at Brown University.
Providence, Rhode Island is on edge tonight with that gunman still on the loose.
We interrupt the last school shooting to tell you about the latest school shooting. On Saturday, there was yet another mass shooting at a school, this time at Brown University. First Charlie Kirk, and now this. 30% of the population, but 99% of the school shooters. The casualties this time around, 2 students dead, 9 others injured. As of Monday night, 1 of the injured students was in critical but stable condition at a hospital. 7 were hospitalized, but in stable condition. 1 had been released. Now, the question, of course, is who did it? The usual suspect. So far, the flatfoots out there have had no less than 2 so-called persons of interest who they went after, and then promptly let both of them go. That's how you know that these guys don't have a clue. They don't know whether to wind their watch or go blind. And Kash Patel's FBI, which I think stands for feeble-brained idiots, has put out this very detailed image of their latest person of interest. I guess they figure third time must be the charm.
Late today, the police put out this new video of the man they're still looking for, and the FBI posted a $50,000 reward for information leading to his arrest.
Tonight, new surveillance video shows what Providence police are calling a person of interest in the weekend's deadly shooting. Images of a man wearing a hat, much of his face covered by a mask, captured just a few blocks from the Brown University building where a gunman entered a lecture hall on Saturday and opened fire.
At this point, this is so rote, so routine, that even the left corner of the white media can't really get that outraged about this latest atrocity, precisely because of the fact that it happens so much And there's a lot of people who are understandably frustrated at best and infuriated at worst that the thugs in blue are showing that basically all they're good for is gunning down unarmed black people. When it comes time to actually do a competent investigation, they just can't. 2 so-called persons of interest in a row that they nabbed and then immediately had to let both of them go. You know, with racial immunity from law being the norm for certain segments of the society, this catch and release program is pretty normal. But what's keeping the good folks in Providence awake at night is that the killer is still on the loose. And the longer he remains at large, the smaller the chances are that the local flatfoots will actually catch him. Now, one of the things that people should be asking is what went wrong with security at the school? Why is it that whenever these school shooters show up, whoever's supposed to be doing security for these places usually runs and hides? I always thought the entire point of campus security was, security. But what happens is these guys are usually a bunch of wannabe cops themselves. And as we've seen with other incidents where university police have harassed or even killed black citizens, these guys only seem to be tough whenever they're dealing with a black person who's unarmed. The rest of the time, they're typical cowards. Just like the badge-toting punks they like to cosplay as. And speaking of the badge-toting punks, there should already be individuals who have been suspended or otherwise forced to resign at this point. How the hell do you have at least 2 different persons of interest who you bring in, and then you gotta let both of them go? What that means is they're just shooting in the dark. They don't really actually know who did it, other than it's probably a white male, just like all these other school shootings. That's basically the only thing that they know. And if that's all they know, they don't know anything. And they're appealing to the public for clues, appealing to the public for any leads, because that's what happens when you're supposed to be the premier law enforcement agency in the US, the FBI, or you're supposed to be some sort of law enforcement professionals like the Providence Police Department. Whenever something like this happens, you ask the public who wasn't there, doesn't have any information, but you're hoping against hope that they can go ahead and crack the case for you because you're incompetent to do it yourself. And I don't know how much in tax dollars the people of Providence pay for their local thugs in blue, but at this point, they should be asking for their money back because this is what it's gotten them. You got this mass murder that takes place there. They should have already had this clown caught from the very beginning, but of course they never do because all they're thinking about is trying to find ways to demand more money from the city for their pay, trying to find a way to get less hours. These guys are not in the business of public safety. They're in the business of harming black people. And this is the result. When you actually need to have competent retroactive investigations, you can't get them because these guys are not in that business. At this point, these psychos from the suburbs, they can absolutely count on the predictable incompetence of the thugs in blue. That helps to embolden these killers. They already know from the jump that basically, if they can get away from the scene of the crime, hell, they're practically halfway home free. 2 students dead and 9 others injured. That's the cost of the police's incompetence. And just for those of you who are keeping score at home, this same weekend that killing was taking place, in the city of Chicago, 1 person was killed and 9 hurt over the same weekend. That was the casualties for the entire weekend in the 2.7 million resident city of Chicago. More people were killed and injured during that few minutes long shooting rampage in Providence than were hurt and killed during the entire weekend in the city of Chicago. And that matters because the same low IQ crowd who tries to pull out the old per capita card or tries to bring up the proverbial south side of Chicago, it's important to bring this up when something like this happens. It's important to remind people of the facts so you can push back against the white right's predictable racial fragility. Now, of course, the white media, without even knowing who the mass shooter is, they're basically prepping the ground at this point already for the predictable defense of, well, this guy, I'm sure that he was loved and beloved by everyone who knew him. That's what they were saying when they had the second person of interest in custody. They were already prepared to tell people, well, he's a military veteran, he was in the military. They might as well have had the Stars and Stripes Forever playing in the background. There's been the usual what's his motivation crap, and this is the white media trying to keep up appearances by pretending that whenever someone from the dominant society goes on one of these rampages, well, that's not normal, when the reality is this happens literally every other day. School shootings by people like this are the norm because it's allowed to be. But what isn't normal is for the white media to take these school shootings and racially pathologize them, the way that they do whenever they see black people who have been accused of a crime. Whenever they see an opportunity to put up a story that basically racially profiles an all but name, they love to racially pathologize as long as it's black people that they can go ahead and point at. But when they don't have black people to point the dirty end of the stick at, suddenly they decide to forget about their racial pathology narrative. No matter how much a particular incident is repeated, no matter how much a particular profile is repeated, oh no, we can't do that. Let the bodies drop. That's the white media's mentality. Out of sight, out of mind, and hopefully not talked about. This isn't about saving lives. For them, it's about saving face. And people can be angry that this keeps happening all they want, but the reality is America doesn't have a gun control problem. What America has is a racial privilege problem. That's the dirty little secret that nobody wants to talk about. That's the reason why these killers seem able to just go ahead and go wherever they want to, and they never seem to encounter any sort of resistance. Doesn't matter if it was the guy who killed Charlie Kirk or the guy who took a pot shot at President Trump or the mass shooting at Brown University. It always fits the exact MO, not just by the shooter, but also by the white powers that be. The real problem here aren't the mass shootings themselves. It's that this is a societal norm and you're not even allowed to say it. Well, I'll certainly say it. For the individuals that you see in the white right media and elsewhere who try to racially pathologize black people when it comes to criminality, they need to look at their own house and clean that place up. How is it that the people in the society who have the most money, who get the most attention and ego stroking from the white media, who have the most comfort and yet have the least restraint, how does that keep happening over and over again? Until this society decides it has finally developed enough moral courage to confront that question and to answer it decisively, then these killings are going to continue because the people who would bring them to an end aren't in a position of power to do so. And that's also by design. This is what happens when an entrenched system is allowed to embed itself in the society. It gets to the point that you can't move it. It's intractable. There's nothing you can do about it. There's also nothing you can do with it. And that's the reason why in America's schools, there's been a course that every student from elementary all the way up to university level has had to learn, and that is shelter in place. There's no textbooks for this course, and there's no study guide either. But the passing grade is survival. Maybe.
Right.
Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Kareem Lawless, Gregory Franklin, Jack Smith, Sa, and Cedric Etheridge. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black Empowerment.
Don't check it out like that Tether Pete Rock. Remember that song? So yeah, they're real hush hush about it. I guess they got another suspect, also white. And yeah, they still being real hush hush about it, just like they was with the Charlie Kirk shooter or murderer. To hell with Charlie Kirk, man, he rest in piss. They were real silent about who did that, if y'all recall, like the professor just alluded to, and like they are at all these mass shootings. When it's one of them, and that's just say the perpetrator or the shooter. Yeah, he might be a teacher. Teacher might have went postal on him. What are your thoughts, Lady Che, on the Brown shooting in Rhode Island?
They said second dude.
Yeah.
So, and then they let him go, right?
They let the first dude go, and they got a second suspect.
I believe anything this thing. But what is really mind-boggling is that one of the students who allegedly 730 students got shot was face to face with Cuz.
Yeah.
So he can say what he looked like.
White male.
Right? Like, you can't tell Cuz that he wasn't totally bubbled up. That you're looking at a white man. Or,
They said it had his whole face covered.
Yeah, right.
They probably had one of them do dirties like I got.
Yeah, right. I don't think you do. Yeah, right.
That motherfucker is cold.
You know, where that motherfucker's so cold.
I can see you, but you can't see me.
Yeah, where And so that word, you can tell him like to get through it.
I'm like, I needed that like 10 years ago. I would have got away with even more shit.
Yeah. You know, but if he was like, you can't tell him this was worse. But I don't think he had lists. Like, come on, that's too tight to have. So let's just think he doesn't have one of those, you know?
I mean, that motherfucker cover your whole face. You can't see nothing.
Nothing, not a damn thing. The only reason you can see me is because I'm light.
But you can see through that motherfucker. Hey, we got Maray in the building. Salute. Yeah, we was just talking about you. Peace, God. Welcome back.
Yeah, let's see because I'm not like bright skin.
This is my Sankofa brother, y'all. He lived in Kenya for 4 years, crew. I was telling him last night how you lived in Ghana for 3 years. And he got a book, which I have right now.
But Ray, that book is a real page turner.
Yeah, it is.
Every time I go to Jesse's, I'm reading it. I'm like halfway through it right now.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out his book, The Whiteness of Destruction, The Origins and Consequences of White Aggression.
Real page turner.
He break it down on this savage beast. Their whole pathology. Cali, LA, finally declaring South Central a historically black district after they allowed Nipsey Hussle to get killed. Remember, he was going to the city council meetings. He was buying up property out there. Just trying to keep it black. So I was trying to keep it black, and they had city cuz Markham. Oh, you welcome, Maray. Yeah, so better late than never, I guess. California, LA to be exact, South Central, now they call it South LA, has finally declared South Central California's first black cultural district. So this is from NBC LA. They're gonna give us an update on that. And then I got another video about the effort to preserve the black landmarks in LA. Oh, Shabaka was here because he'd tell us all about it. I'm like, that's where so and so used to be. That's where blah blah blah. That's da. The show must go on. Hopefully he'll join us.
All right, it's being called the first of its kind here in the state of California, a black cultural district in the heart of South LA.
The aim is to recognize South LA's deep cultural heritage, as well as to generate economic growth, tourism, and investment. Our Ted Chen is live right now in Exposition Park with more on what it will mean for the people who live and work there. Ted.
Michael, Colleen, South LA, the Crenshaw District, Lamar Park has long been seen as the heart of Black LA, but officials say never been officially recognized as such. Well, that changed today, and one business owner couldn't be happier about it. For 45 years, Lula Washington's dance studio has been part of the cultural heart of South Los Angeles, teaching its students and performing across the country. Owner Lula Washington says being part of California's first Black cultural district will be a huge step forward.
And I'm saying that's good. That's a good thing because it's about time. It's about time that something like that happened for this area.
South LA leaders also say it's about time. State Senator Lola Smallwood Cuevas says she learned that California had 14 designated cultural districts like LA's Chinatown, but did not have one in South LA, home to the state's largest concentration of Black-owned businesses and cultural institutions.
We know millions come to California, and we don't want them getting on the 10 freeway and driving from the beach to downtown over to Orange County. We want them to stop, to partake, to spend some money, and to get a little bit of that Black South LA cultural resilience.
The state senator says the designation will provide the area access to state funding for economic revitalization and preserving cultural landmarks. Washington says it comes just in time to attract visitors who will arrive for the World Cup and then the Olympics.
I hope that they make this area part of their stop. We're planning to do specific programs so that people that would like to experience what's here in the community can do so and know about it.
The state senator says she has secured $3 million in funding to place monuments and markers throughout the new district and will solicit community input. Reporting live from Exposition Park, Ted Chen, NBC4 News. Colleen, Michael, back to you.
All right, so when they're talking about cultural revitalization and all that, that means gentrification. More gentrification is coming to South Central LA. Where are they at? Where?
I think that this is another beautifying project. So
Wait for the Olympics.
it's not like it's the reparations. That more pride and bigger shit.
It's a symbolic gesture, like they did the 5 points. Well, we gonna name 5 points the historically Black district, cultural district, but we gonna gentrify you niggas out of there. So now, since the Olympics is coming and the World Cup is gonna be next year, they're trying to beautify the place. So now they want to preserve whatever cultural legacy is left. So they got some buildings in South LA now, otherwise known as South Central. That's what we know it as. It's just South LA is some new shit. But new landmarks to help preserve LA's Black heritage.
Black heritage is in the spotlight across the city of Los Angeles. 6 buildings have received historic cultural monument status. It's all part of a project led by the Getty Museum and the city. NBC4's Carmen Dickerson takes us on a tour of the historic sites.
Stylesville is the oldest Black-owned business in the San Fernando Valley, earning it that historic cultural monument designation. 5 other African-American landmarks have been added to the list.
It ain't changed a bit.
Stylesville Beauty and Barbershop in Pacoima has looked pretty much the same since 1957, when it was founded by Fred and Ollie Carter. And Gregory Fawcett, who runs it now, says that's the point.
It's a barbershop. This is not a salon. So we're not getting bougie. We're going to stay grimy the way we is. And that's how it works.
What year was it?
57, across the street.
Okay. And then they moved it over to this location where it is now.
And 77, I've been there ever since.
So this is your family business?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that my grandmother and grandfather started something that I can keep going on, and it means a lot to the people that leave this area for numerous amounts of time and come back, and we're still here. The conversation of people coming in out my doors is what really makes me feel good, and it lets me know what I'm doing it has a purpose.
You've had many recognitions in the past.
Yes, ma'am.
We're out here today because of a new one.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's something I've been wanting to do, and I'm glad it's happening. I'm making, excuse my French, damn sure my grandmother and grandfather go down noticeable.
African American Historic Places Los Angeles is a collaboration between the City of LA and the Getty Museum. The organization has designated 5 other locations as historic cultural monuments, including St. Elmo Village's Mid-City Artists Enclave, Tom Bradley, LA's first Black mayor's Leimert Park home, Catch One nightclub, a historic gay disco founded by the late Jewel Tice Williams, and the former location of the California Eagle, one of LA's longest-running Black newspapers. Another designated African-American landmark comes in a place you might not expect, the Oakwood neighborhood of Venice. Michelle Williams tells us she was raised in this historically Black community and has been coming to New Bethel Baptist Church since she was 5 years old.
There's so many places here that they have changed, but this will be here, and this is very important. This church has been a very important part of Venice.
COVID hit you pretty hard, and I understand that you're hoping that this historic designation can to try to help bring some resources back to the church.
Any other kind of resources that we can get to keep this church going, that's what we'd like.
In Venice, Carmen Dickerson, NBC4 News.
All right, well, since Lady Che is from LA, what are your thoughts on these landmarks getting preserved? They said it's about 17 buildings or areas they want to preserve.
For us, doesn't benefit us. None of that benefits us.
You know, sounds like another symbolic gesture.
So it specifically benefits us, like specifically it's gonna be for Foundation Black American Housing, or this is gonna be a grocery store specifically for Foundation Black American.
You know, it's like how they do the landmarks here in Denver.
That's what I'm saying is
When they do the preservation.
So it tells specifically it's saying it worded that way. It's a fucking nothing for it.
Right.
Sadly.
Especially they're not putting no resources in the community. They're doing the same thing they did to 5 Points.
And this is going to reintroduce specifically Foundation Black Americans, then it matters. But until then, this is a nothing burger. You don't need shit. It's all inclusive. It's for everybody.
Yeah, come see where the niggas used to live. Like they did 5 Points. We got all these damn murals up. Like Jackie Robinson and Hank Aaron and all these big name athletes and celebrities. We don't even live there no more. Yeah, all these black murals up, but we don't live there no more. So it looks like they're doing LA the same way. All right, so moving along, since Shabaka's still not joining us. Today is Carter G. Woodson's birthday. He was born, when was Carter G. Woodson born? What year? Late 1800s. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black History Month. At that time, it was Black or Negro History Week. And it later evolved into Black History Month. He would have been easily over 100 years old. Like 130 years old. 1875. Somebody do some quick math. 1875 till now is how many years? 130 years. 130 or 140 years. Yep, 150 years. So 150 years ago, Carter G. Woodson was born. Let's see where he was born at. Born to formerly enslaved parents in Virginia, Woodson worked as a garbage delivery driver and a coal miner to support his education eventually enrolling in high school at age 20. He became the second foundational Black American to earn a PhD in history from Harvard University after W.E.B. Du Bois in 1912. In 1926, so next year it'll be 100 years, he founded Black Negro or History Month, which he pioneered Negro History Week, choosing the second week of February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. This observance was officially recognized as Black History Month by President Gerald Ford in 1976. So damn, next year it's gonna be 50 years of Black History Month. Then he authored the seminal book, The Miseducation of the Negro, which I'm pretty sure we've all read, in 1933, which critiqued the American education system for culturally indoctrinating, that's why Shabaka always says indoctrination centers instead of public schools, Black students rather than empowering them. Institutional impact, he founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, now the Association for the Study of, I'm just going to correct them, Foundational Black American Life and History, to preserve and promote Black history. Why he started the movement, Woodson was motivated by the erasure of Black history by white historians of his time. He famously recalled a Harvard professor claiming that the Negro had no history, which fueled his lifelong mission to prove that Black Americans have always been central to the development of society. His philosophy was best captured in this quote: "When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions." So I got a short video clip on him. 10 things about Dr. Carter G. Woodson. It's from Black Excellence.
Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellence presentation, we want to celebrate Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history.
Welcome to blackexcellence.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
February has marked the celebration of Black History Month for almost half a century, an annual observance that recognizes the achievements and contributions of Black Americans. But without historian and author Carter G. Woodson, who devoted much of his life to shining a light on Black history, the celebration might not exist. Woodson did not let the persecution and obstacles he faced throughout his life stop him from becoming the esteemed, groundbreaking historian who founded Negro History Week, which today is known as Black History Month. In this original Black Excellence video, we will be featuring Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the American historian, author, and educator. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Carter G. Woodson was born on December 19, 1875 in Virginia. Carter G. Woodson's story began in a similar fashion to the countless number of Black people who came of age during the uneasy years of Reconstruction. The son of illiterate, formerly enslaved people, he grew up on a farm near Canton, Virginia, where intensive fieldwork kept him out of school most days and still barely produced enough food to feed the entire family. Woodson took on the jobs that were available to him, including garbage truck driver and coal miner, but he also sought to improve his standing through a relentless desire to learn. Number 2. Dr. Woodson devoted himself to the highest levels of education. Woodson supported himself by working in the coal mines of Kentucky and was thus unable to enroll in high school until he was 20. Carter then enrolled into Frederick Douglass High School in West Virginia. The time he entered high school, Carter graduated in 2 years and later became the school's principal as he worked toward his undergraduate degree at Kentucky Berea College. Carter would eventually graduate from Berea College and became a teacher and an administrator there. After his college graduation from Berea in 1903, Woodson spent time teaching in the Philippines and also traveled visiting the Middle East and Europe. He studied at Sorbonne University in Paris during his travels. When he returned to the U.S., he enrolled at the University of Chicago and received a second bachelor's degree and master's degree in European history in the spring of 1908. That fall, he became a doctoral student in history at Harvard University and went on to earn his PhD in 1912. Woodson became the second Black man to earn a PhD in history from Harvard University after W.B. Du Bois. Most of Woodson's academic career was spent at Howard University, a historically Black university in Washington, D.C., where he eventually served as the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Number 3, Dr. Woodson was motivated by white historians' tendency to erase Black history. After Dr. Woodson graduated from a relatively progressive Harvard, he embarked on making the history of Black Americans both visible and appreciated. Contemporary historians at the time were white and had a very narrow scope in their historical narratives, their perspectives limited either intentionally or otherwise. Woodson's determination to shine a light on his predecessors' stories solidified as he recalled the moment when a distinguished professor from his Harvard College days informed his class that the Negro had no history, fueling a deep-seated desire in Woodson to prove him wrong. Number 4, Dr. Woodson published his first book, The Education of the Negro, prior to 1861. Dr. Woodson's first book, published in 1915, was on the history of Black American education, as he emphasized the importance and power of the Black American story. He also explained why Black history was not being told, and detailed how the enslavers are responsible for preventing Black Americans from receiving proper education, so as to more easily force them into subordination. He further argued that the perpetuation of this practice and erasure of Black history has benefited white people for centuries. The only way to effectively fight racism, he continued, is to educate the Black community about all that Black people have done for American society, so that this race is no longer regarded as inferior. When researching this topic, Dr. Woodson mentions in the preface that he was particularly inspired by the stories he read and heard over the years about Black Americans who invented and accomplished things even while suffering extreme oppression. Number 5, Dr. Woodson publishes Miseducation of the Negro in 1933. In 1933, Dr. Woodson published his historical and extremely important critique of the American education system that he titled The Miseducation of the Negro. The thesis of Dr. Woodson's book is that African Americans of his day were being culturally indoctrinated rather than taught in American schools. This conditioning caused Black people to become dependent and to seek out inferior positions in the greater American society. The most crucial element in his concept of miseducation hinged on the education system's failure to present authentic African and African American history in the school's curriculum. Woodson found his voice with this sophisticated critique of a post-Civil War education system that was more philanthropic in nature or more focused on training the Negro to work, not educating and empowering him or her to excel. He highlighted America's neglect of purposeful teaching and its embrace of white racist historians who were not genuine in providing an accurate account of America's history that not only included significant contributions from the Black community, but also acknowledged the pains of slavery. His constructive critique gave a lesson on how improving the lives of the poor cannot be done by a bunch of nice people with money, but rather change has to be systemic, radical, and practical. Because as he stated in one of his most famous quotes, when you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. Number 6, Dr. Woodson drafted and circulated a pamphlet promoting Negro History Week. Meanwhile, Dr. Woodson urged Black schools and organizations to find ways to celebrate the accomplishments of their race. His Omega Psi Phi fraternity brothers responded with the creation of Negro History and Literature Week in 1924, and Woodson soon took the idea to the next level in 1926 when he pioneered the celebration of Negro History Week, designated the second week in February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th and Frederick Douglass on February 14th. He would herald the celebration in his Negro History Week circulars, causing a stir in the direction of active participation after mailing them to several Black schools, civic organizations, literary societies, and radio stations. As years went on, Dr. Woodson would offer promotional materials to those who agreed to take up the celebration, as well as guidance on how to shape such festivities. One of his early mantras was to not just to emphasize Negro history, but to highlight the Negro in history. Number 7, Negro History Week gained popularity with help from teachers and church leaders. Early Negro History Week celebrations included banquets, speeches, parades, and lectures, many of which were free for the public to attend. The community events caught on with the help of the teachers and church leaders who encouraged involvement, as well as the organizers and featured participants who were expected to generously donate their time to the cause. Several Black newspapers also hopped on board with the movement, with the Philadelphia Tribune, the Chicago Defender, and the Tampa Bulletin among some of the biggest and early supporters of the effort. By 1937, Woodson had another means of promoting Negro History Week with the launch of the Negro History Bulletin, a publication that proved more accessible to working-class Blacks and children that had a wider and more relatable reach than his scholarly Journal of Negro History. Number 8. Dr. Woodson was disappointed in the school's failure to adopt Black history. Negro History Week became a mainstay in areas with major Black populations like New York City, Chicago, Detroit, and Washington, D.C., as well as smaller Black communities in the South. Woodson would leverage his Negro History Bulletin to publish the success of the celebrations, as well as the enthusiastic feedback of teachers and volunteers. However, Dr. Woodson wasn't satisfied with the celebration being limited to 7 days out of the year. He hoped that Negro History Week would spark the development of immersive curricula on Black studies in schools around the country, but was disappointed by the failure of schools and administrators to build on his efforts. Woodson continuously found himself fighting an uphill battle pursuit of his goal to promote the study of African American history in schools. He believed that education and increasing social and professional contacts among Black and white people could significantly reduce racism and prejudices. Woodson would devote the rest of his life to historical research and work to preserve the history of African Americans as he accumulated a collection of thousands of artifacts and publications. Dr. Woodson died at his home of a heart attack in Washington, D.C. at the age of 74 on April 3, 1950. He is buried at Lincoln Memorial Cemetery in Maryland. Number 9, Black History Month was officially recognized in 1976. It's apparent that Woodson's work with the ASNLH, now known as the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, bore fruit through successive generations that made Black studies a staple of most American institutes of higher learning. Furthermore, momentum for Negro History Week continued gathering steam in the following decades as the commemoration of Black contributions became a cultural fixture. President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month in 1976, calling upon the public to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. Number 10, Dr. Woodson dedicated his life to telling the stories of Black Americans. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history, is honored with numerous schools, parks, and buildings across the country bearing his name. Dr. Woodson was also remembered with a U.S. Postal Service stamp in 1984, and his Washington, D.C. home is now a National Historic Site. Many of his publications and foundations are still operational, and his Association for the Study of African American Life and History is still in existence today. It was Dr. Woodson's belief that setting aside a week for studying Black history would build a platform that would make its way into school curriculums across the country and bring light to the many ways that Black Americans have shaped society. And though the nation still has a long way to go, his vision is being realized one step at a time. Black History Month is still celebrated today as activists and leaders work against centuries of discrimination by fighting for Black rights while praising, supporting, and empowering the Black community throughout the month of February. We here at Black Excellence are inspired by Dr. Woodson as we embark on our own crusade to ensure that we preserve the history of Black Americans and leave a digital footprint that narrates our accomplishments and our excellence. We want to thank you all for your support of this channel, since it's important for us to to narrate our own stories in our own way. Like Dr. Woodson, we have found our voice and our passion, and we will work even harder to emphasize and highlight the importance, the beauty, and the power of the Black American story.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end.
Don't ever put them in there with no Shirley Chisholm and with no old Sambo. All right, so yeah, those just 10 things about Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Very, very good video. Shout out to Black Excellence for that. What are your thoughts, Lady Che, on Dr. Carter G. Woodson? It being his it would have been his 150th birthday.
I agree with whatever you said. Whatever you said. I mean, you usually have celebratory things, but it's politics. Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so he's, like I said, he's the one that came up with the Black History Month, the shortest and coldest month of the year. And that is coming up in 2 months. Next year.
Fucking crazy, yeah. But it's every day you're black. You know?
Right. Black history is 365 days a year and 366 on a leap year. It's not just 1 month. It's all year round. Like we say here at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, from the beginning of time until 10 minutes ago. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next topic, and that is the dump, as in human shit. And we want to make that perfectly clear. Trump counsels 85,000 Nigerian visas. Impact on U.S. Immigration. So our good sister out of Jersey, Dirty Jers, is going to give us an update on that. Lisa Cabrera. Shout out to Lisa Cabrera. Fast forward.
Nobody's going to listen to that. This government is going to. You can't come.
Mercy toward them that fear him.
Go. You got to go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You got to go for free. Your home.
As far as the heaven is high above the earth, so great is his mercy toward.
From night. Ladies and gentlemen, good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Listen, Donald Trump, with a stroke of a pen, he just canceled the bulk of the visas were from Nigeria. So anybody from Nigeria that was anticipating coming here in 2026 on a student visa or any visa, even a work visa, you can't come here now. You can't come.
Your brother in the chat.
And it's permanent. He's not letting them come here on visas anymore. And you can thank all of the scamming and scheming many of these Africans have come over here to do. You may say, hey, not all of them, but it's enough to where the government has gotten fed up with it and they're just not going to tolerate it anymore. It may be a few, but a few is ruining it for all. And see, as long as y'all won't deal with or take accountability for the ones that are making it bad for all of you, you're going to have to deal with the consequences and the fallout. And it's the same with the Somalians. It doesn't matter how many of you keep coming on videos talking about it's not all of us, it's not all of us. But if you're not dealing with the ones or getting rid of the ones that's causing the problem, then nobody's going to listen to that. this government is going to get rid of all of you. They're going to start throwing as many of you out as they can. It's going to be many that didn't do anything, but you're still going to be deported out of here. So as long as you don't deal with the ones that are the problem, then yes, it's going to impact all of you. I'm just saying.
You're right, Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying they need to go home. And it doesn't help that many of you are going on videos boasting about your crime, boasting about using the system and scamming the system. That doesn't help, because y'all are doing that too, because I'm seeing the videos out there. And I've posted some of them where y'all are boasting about scamming the U.S. government, scamming the system, and then talk about Black Americans are just mad because y'all know how to scam the system and we don't know how to do it. We ain't interested in scamming no system. Who the hell are y'all talking to? We ain't interested in scamming no system. What makes you think we, who've been here for centuries, are looking for a way to scam a system? That's not what we do.
Right.
No, see, that's what you do. Because, see, that's what y'all do even in your own countries.
Yep.
Y'all come with that kind of mentality when you come over here, because that's all y'all do in your home country is scam. But I've heard them say that on videos that, oh, Black Americans are just mad because they know how to play the system, and we're so stupid we don't know how to play the system. Well, yeah, you done played the system to the point where they're deporting your ass.
Right, Lisa.
and keep making them videos. I promise you, ICE, when they come out there and get a hold of you Somalians, they gonna jack your asses up. Y'all keep putting them videos out. You'll see. You will soon see.
Yeah, that mother was talking about popping ice.
All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started.
One of them light bulb headed motherfuckers was talking about, yeah, I'm gonna shoot ICE. They come to get me, I'm gonna shoot them.
Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen.
Yeah, them scamalonians. Scamolians. Yeah, she going in on them, DSB.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like Trump's favor towards Nigerians was short-lived, wasn't it? I mean, can you imagine? America just cancelled 85,000 visas in total, tens of thousands of which were Nigerian visa holders, right? Who are now barred from entry. And whilst they weren't citizens, they were people who thought their visa made them safe. They got no warning, no refund, no appeal. And this included students, parents, skilled workers, Christians. Yeah, I said it. The same group who he claimed to care so much about just cut off. And it wasn't just Nigerians, right? Other African and Caribbean nationals are facing similar restrictions. Places like Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, whole countries, including Cuba, Venezuela, and many others, right, getting shut out quietly. The US said it was about security, criminal offences, visa overstays, suspected threats.
Right.
But some say it's about tightening who gets in and who gets kept out. Beyond just safety, right? The US is picking who stays in the room.
That's why I
guess we're always first to go anyway, aren't we?
I don't even like
and what makes it worse, right? Some of the same Nigerians in the diaspora who campaigned for Trump, called him uncle, and now watching their own uncle get kicked out. And it's not just visas, right? The US has also tightened its travel ban system. Nigeria is now on the list for partial entry. That means that travelers can be barred from entering even before a visa is issued, or unless they fall under a really narrow scope of exceptions, right? So what's the lesson here? First and foremost, I would always say try to build at home where possible, right? I know it's not always realistic, not with these currencies, not with these governments, these living costs. So if you're going to apply to travel, do it with strategy, right? Not just hope. Look for countries that offer a real path to residency, not just a 2-year visa and a pat on the head. Ghana, Barbados, Portugal, if it fits your situation, right? Rwanda, Mauritius, build a long-term plan, not a getaway plan. And if you're already abroad, try not to move like a visitor. Move like someone building their future, right? That means legal routes, the kind that protects you when things flip, right? That could be a second passport, if you're eligible, that is, or regional stays. Study to stay programs, remote income that isn't tied to location, whatever gives you like any atom of actual security, not just a stamp. Guys, in this economy, plan Bs aren't luxuries anymore. They're lifelines, because the visa gets you in, but it won't keep you safe. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this?
December 16, 2025. Let's talk about this major breaking news. And this is coming from the President of America, President Donald Trump, as he has given a directive for the suspension of the issuance of B1, B2 visa, student visa, which is the F and M visa, and also the exchange visa, which is the J visa. And according to reports, this is due to the fact that there is high level of insecurity in Nigeria, the Boko Haram and the Islamic State operating freely in certain parts of Nigeria. As you all know, what has been going on between the US and Nigeria lately, and we saw President Trump, put Nigeria as a country of particular concern a couple of weeks ago because of the high level of insecurity. And right now, and also visa overstay. So according to the report from the White House, Nigeria has a total of 5.56% as regards B1, B2 visa, while for the F and M visa and J visa overstay rate is 11.90%. So right now, all of these classes of visa have been suspended. So which means that they know they give visa to those classes anymore. And right now, President Trump has instructed the consular officers to reduce the validity of any other non-immigrant visa. You all know my stand when it comes to the level of insecurity in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, most of the politicians and their family members will not be affected by this. Most of their kids have dual citizenship. Now look at someone that is planning to come to the US to study. Even if you have GA right now or scholarship, you will not be given visa. The Nigerian government should do better as regards insecurity.
Breaking news here. The worst is happening to Nigeria. Africa is in a mess. I don't know what is going on, but what I know is America is rejecting Nigeria. Canada has rejected Nigeria. UK has rejected Nigerians.
Yep, there you go, crew.
And even some countries in Africa, they are pushing back on Nigerians.
Ghana don't want them.
Few months ago, or about a few weeks ago, I warned the consequences of what Canada just did to Nigeria. Visa restriction on Nigerians, travel restriction on Nigerians, and some other part of Africa. When it happens to one, it happens to all. Africa must wake up. Nigeria must wake up. Nigeria is So recently, about a few days ago, I received the news and as I was just reading through the internet, and I make a few phone calls and realized that the US Embassy in Nigeria is canceling visas. Is canceling visas. Business visa, private visas, student visas. So what it means is, after you have been given a visa and you have probably booked your flight, the embassy will call you and they will cancel your visa. And for those that have traveled, as you are landing in the United States, you are returned back to Nigeria. This is a mess. This is a mess.
Your homeland.
Some folks are on the internet. They are laughing about this. They are joking about it.
I'm cracking up about it.
But let me draw our attention to something. If you don't put your house in order, you can be rejected by anybody from anywhere at any time.
We've been telling
without prior notice.
Go fix your homeland.
Few months ago, I made a presentation here that says,
wants to go fix his homeland.
No matter how rich you are, how successful you are as an individual, as long as you are an African, Black race, not until Africa is fixed,
he said,
not until Nigeria is fixed, not until your country is fixed, not until we collectively succeed together, you have no foundation anywhere in the world. You have no relevance anywhere in the world. All this visa cancellation is not because these people don't have money. So in other words, money has failed. And I told us here that a time will come where money will fail, your influence will fail, your political position will fail, every other thing will fail. The only thing that Africa needs to do is to build Africa, invest in Africa, invest in human capacity development. And once that is done, we will be able to build the environment. And that is when our visas will no longer be cancelled.
Yeah, you see how he said foundation?
This is not to blame the United States or Canada or UK or any other country that will follow suit.
Foundational Black Africans.
It is a wake-up call. Africans are bothered. They are worried because they are asked to stay at home. Why are you bothered? Why are you worried? Because you can't solve your own problem? You can't figure out how to travel within Africa? You can't open borders so that there will be trade within Africa? Yeah. America will not solve Nigerian problem. Russia won't solve Nigerian problem. China won't solve Nigerian problem. If you run to France, France will not solve Nigerian problem. They won't solve African problem. Decade ago, China was nothing. Nobody wants to even have anything to do with China. But the moment they make up their mind to build their nation, the moment they make up their mind to invest in their nation, just a few days ago, we see the parade that they just did, the military parade.
The military parade.
And we see the power they display, how they are explaining to the world without saying a word. Because they took time to invest, to build. Building is hard, it's difficult.
They welcome the Chinese with open arms.
But the only option for you to be respected across the nations of the world is to build. There is no two routes to this, no two way about it.
DSB.
Running away from Africa will not make you respected. Becoming anything, engineer, doctors, maybe a business tycoon, like some of them that have, we have airplanes in the world, we have airports, we've built airports, we've done so many things, breakthrough, individual breakthrough. But all of those things really mean nothing. Look at Russia. They stood together to build their nation. Look at Japan. They build it. Today, Africa, we need to come together. Get away with entertainment. All the things that is being done on social media to make us just excited and abandon our building. We need to slow down on entertainment and focus on how can we build.
Well, y'all can hold.
And we must stop destroying ourselves internally. You cannot be building and be destroying at the same time. You can't be stealing and be building at the same time. You can't loot and build at the same time. You can't undermine the youth and build at the same time. You can't ignore wisdom of the wise and build at the same time. You cannot be destroying what government is putting together and at the same time you want to advance. And by the way, no nation is truly built by government. Government creates enabling environment for the people to build. We cannot be having someone like Dangote in Nigeria and Nigeria is not built, like Otedela of Nigeria, like Adenuga of Nigeria, and even the president of Nigeria is rich enough, and some other rich people, men and women, and yet Nigeria is unbuilt. We have like someone like Bishop David Oyedepo. People are rich, financially successful, but why is Nigeria like this? This is not a question of prayer. Prayer cannot solve the problem of development. Prayer cannot solve the problem of underutilization of human beings. Prayer cannot solve any of this stuff. It takes thinking, critical thinking, for us to revive, to reconstruct, to rebuild, to redesign, and to take. Why are youth neglected? They are talented enough to create all kinds of things. Look at what we do on the internet. It is time for us not to do things individually, but to pull together, to work together, to make sure we have one vision, and that vision is for development. It is a mess, Nigeria, and it's time for us to redeem ourselves. Not to capitalize on excuses. Excuses never do anything. And we cannot continue to blame the West for their own decision to preserve themselves. Wake up, Nigeria. Wake up, Africa. If you love what I'm doing here, hit the plus button. Leave me a comment in the comment section. I want to hear your opinion. I want people that are truly sharp with ideas here. Follow me for more. God bless you and God bless Africa.
Finally, Donald Trump has hit hard on Nigerians. When Donald Trump says Nigeria is a country of a particular concern, it truly means what he was saying. Now he has put a ban on Nigeria. Not only Nigeria, it includes a lot of African countries. Mostly the African country food the list. He put a ban on many countries. All right. We know that, okay, Nigeria has been on partial ban before now, but now he has put a permanent ban until maybe further notice before they go feel remove some certain things. This ban includes so many people, including government officials. He banned, including even people who want to go study. He said, no, you can't come. Say, because when you come to study, now they do cookery way to get to a result. Now they forge. He said people when they come for holiday, they know they agree go back. Some their visa go finish, self, they no go agree go back, and some go back late. So he put a ban on that one too. He put a ban, even people that wants to come and do business in America, he said, no, you cannot come. No more. Did you see that? They said, we'll put help fix our country. We don't want to do it. Look at the things that are going on. If our country is good, why should people be running to America every day? And when you get there, you know, go come back. What is the issue? Now, Donald Trump don't put eyes on us. What are his reasons? He get plenty of reasons. So he talks saying we get ISWAP for our country, we get Boko Haram. So they don't know if people they come into America, they don't even know who be who. So them, they want to save their country. They want to safeguard their country. As we know, want to safeguard our own. All right. What we are getting from the political leaders is for them to say, oh, now our party they lead now. People are joining our party. We are the fastest growing party in Africa. That's all they can tell us. They are doing nothing to save us from all this embarrassment coming from the Western countries. For how long are we going to continue like this? 2027 is here. People come out and choose a good leader. Some people go still they talk. If we do not get it right through leadership, it go hard for us. And like this, we will continue.
Stop.
You're right?
Stop.
So it is high time Nigerians realize that not only us, our destiny, they our palm, and we need to step up and do the needful. Nobody will do it for us. Americans don't set their own countries. They do and well for their people. They don't do and well for us. That's what they are telling us. So if America is telling you that they are banning even people that want to come and study, can't you see that they are serious? Well, this ban does not actually include people with special handwork, according to them. People like their Davido, their Wizkid, and Burna Boy, all those ones where they do entertainment, where they do some kind of special thing. They don't ban those ones, they can't come. And this ban as well, it does not include people where they already get their visa. If you don't get your visa already, it don't include you, you can still enter America. Like if your visa is ready now, all right? And if you apply for visa and you have not gone for the interview, let's even agree you go for the interview and they can't give you the visa, you still have the opportunity to go. So to round it up, the fact remains that these restrictions and this ban will start officially from first day of January. So you have from now till the first day of January to do whatever you want to do and enter America. And those that are already in America, those that have green cards, you are not restricted, they are not stopping you. And those that already have the visa, they are not stopping you. But from now onward, let's say from January 1st onward, that ban is already there. You know, if you get, no even try and no even go apply for visa, they know will give you. But do you know one thing? These people has been making a lot of money from this thing. No? Yes. How many people did they ban? Like, how many people did they deny visa? Did they used to return their visa fee to them? No. Do you know how many people apply? Do you know every week how many people goes for interview? Let's assume 500 people goes for interview in a week. Maybe now only 50 people or 30 something go get. What happened to the 400 and something people? Their visa fee is gone. So them too, as they banned, they know say it will affect them in one way or the other because Nigerians too, they apply for that thing. All right? Make we fix it. Make we take time, fix our country. There is no two ways about it. There is nothing like your own. Our own is our own. And we have to put our heads together and fix this country. 2027 is closer. Stand up, make the right choice. Let's decide on who can take Nigeria out of this particular concern. Because Donald Trump, before he called us a shit-hot country, right? Shit-hot. But now he said we are a country of particular concern. So they don't need to watch us because he get us how they behave. That's what he's telling us. But the fact remains that you know that we are the most smartest people in the world. Yes, but he get us how our country leaders don't make us look. That's why they berate us like that. If not, normally, Nigerians, we are at the top. May God help us to get it right. May God help our leaders. May God help us as citizens. And may God continue to protect the world. Peace.
They say your visa was approved, but imagine showing up to the airport and it's suddenly revoked with no warning or no explanation. That's what's happening right now to Nigerians. The U.S. Embassy has started quietly canceling visas that have already been issued. People are finding out last minute at boarding gates, at check-ins, and all officials are saying is it's for security reasons. No details, no chance to appeal, just completely canceled. From what I heard, they're using an old law that lets you revoke visas if they find new information, but they're not saying what this new information is. It's not just Nigerians either. They say that this law applies to millions worldwide. It's just at the moment, Nigerians is just the people who are getting hit the hardest. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think this is really about security, or is there something else going on behind the scenes that we don't know about?
This just in, the U.S. has pretty much banned Nigerian immigration to the country. And this is not like that previous ban where they banned immigrant visas, meaning that if you were trying to get a green card, you weren't allowed to do that anymore, but there were exceptions. No. This one, they even banned visitor visa. They banned student visas, and they actually cited falsifying student records and grades to get into the States as one of the reasons. They mentioned marriage fraud as one of the reasons why they are stopping green card filings for Nigerians. They mentioned overstaying visas for one of the reasons why they are no longer issuing visitors visa. Now, of course, if you have a valid visa, they say you can still get in. If you have a green card, they say you can still get in. And if you have particular interest to the country, and they gave the example, athlete. If you don't know why I'm raising my eyebrows, you might want to go look up Colin Kaepernick and find out why they keep importing Black people into America to entertain them. So if you have like a special talent that is of national interest, then yeah, maybe they'll consider you. Basically, if you're built like you can play American football, then they'll take you. Some of y'all are not going to like what I'm about to say, but I need for you to understand. You see them YouTube movies? That is not special enough talent for them to make you come. I'm not trying to be condescending. It's not everything that a lawyer says that you will like. I need for you to understand that. You're going to have to explain why them YouTube movies are important to America, where Idris Elba is living, where Damson Idris is living. Like, you're going to have to prove some international acclaim. You see Rema, you no go get problem. You see Ira, she no go get problem. You see, make a no drop name, you go get problem. To thine own self be true. Know yourself and know what you're bringing to the table. Now, let me be honest. None of this is to throw shade. This is just me being very honest and very direct, because at this point, we're going to have to start being very realistic, because, you know, Nigerians, we like to fantasize a bit sometimes. So we have to be realistic about this. And let's not forget that there is no more asylum. See, all of you that think that America cares so much about the Christians that are being killed in the North, America cares so much that she has refused to grant those people asylum. The only people that are being granted asylum are white South Africans. White. Not too long ago, 3 Ghanaians were held and detained in Israel, and Ghana responded. They retaliated. They held 3 Israelis as soon as they stepped foot in the country. That's what happens when countries are exercising their sovereignty. Sometimes they will retaliate, which means that if Nigeria should choose to retaliate in this particular situation, the American passport holders could see certain limitations. So if you like yourself and you're going to Nigeria on a US passport, get a visa and make sure it is confirmed in your mailbox or in that passport booklet before you set your foot in Nigeria.
The world is turning against us. The world is turning against us. A country that is filled with intelligent people. Now animals, they rule now. The world is turning against us. A country that is all over the world. If you see those who are carrying first, if you see those who are doing great things, those who are breaking ground, Nigerians. How come with such our brilliant mind, they still turn their back? What is going on? What is going on? Now, I do not blame the world, though. See, because some of una no good. Make they talk the truth. Make I feel from speaking English, because I get Americans when they follow me. As far as they shame. Some of una no good. Una go, they carry una bad character. They walk around the world. They carry, now nobody wants to deal with your shit. Nobody wants to deal with your shit. One motto that I have personally as a human being. You see one motto that I have? I know that Nigeria has bad name. So what I do, I think is one person at a time. One person at a time. That's why when I'm dealing with international people, international partners, I go over and above. To be straight, to be honest, to be timely, for them to say, oh, Nigeria has bad name. But there was this lady that I dealt with, her name is Choma. That lady made me start to think twice about the bad name Nigerians have, because I have dealt with her and she was good. You see, it's all of us. One by one person at a time, can begin to do this. I am doing it right now with a Ghana person. And when he wanted to do it initially, he didn't want to do it because he didn't say, I'll be Nigeria. He said, Nigeria. But the person that recommended me said, this one is different. And I made sure, just day before yesterday, I paid him the share of his money. I paid him the share of his money for the business that we're doing. And some payments that he was not aware of that came in, I still, everything, CSV file. I said that good guy. I said, these are the payments that you were not aware of. This came through this other link. This came through this. He said, wow. Wow. You're so honest. I didn't even know. See, you don't need to know. As long as you're dealing with me, I'm going to be honest. As straight as an arrow, guys. You don't bad, you don't bad. Don't fix your home. We don't carry bad name, we don't carry bad name. It's all over the world, but we can change it. We might not change it completely in our generation, but we can start one person at a time. Begin to be honest, begin to be straight, begin to do the right thing, one person at a time. If we can do this, maybe, just maybe, our children, because our generation is over us, but maybe our children can have a chance where the world will not alienate them, where the world will not give them a blanket sanction, where the world countries quietly will not give them special conditions. Imagine me calling the hotel in Dubai. Normally, when you book a 5-star hotel in Dubai, they go do visa for you. I called the hotel to help me with my visa. They said, what country passport are you using? I said, Nigeria. They said, I'm sorry, Nigeria has special conditions. Yeah. Why? One person at a time. One person at a time. That fast money where you won't get, that thing where you won't do, where you know say, if they find that say you be Nigerian, it gonna make all of us look bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. It might not be for you. Think about your children. The world is turning against us. The world, this will not be giant. We not be giant ago, no. We ain't giant, no bullshit. We are not giants. There is nothing giant about us. Let us be honest with ourselves. One person at a time. We can't change the narrative.
Nigeria added as US expands travel restrictions. So, President Donald Trump on Tuesday, December 16, signed a proclamation further restricting entry into the United States for nationals of countries identified as high risk due to what the White House described as persistent and severe deficiencies in screening, vetting, and information sharing that threaten national and public safety. Among the 15 additional countries placed under partial entry restriction is Nigeria. The decision was announced in a fact sheet published on the White House website on Tuesday, December 16th, titled President Donald J. Trump further restrict and limit the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. In addition, the proclamation imposes partial entry restrictions on 15 more countries that includes Nigeria. Countries under this Nigeria restriction include, we have Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Dominican Republic, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Senegal, Tanzania, Tonga, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, and Angola. So what that means is that according to the information, if you have an existing visa, you can still have access to the United States. Also, another part of this restriction is that they say at the discretion of the consular, they can decide on individual case by case. Except you are an athlete, musician, a superstar, then the restriction may not actually affect you like that. This happens when the leadership in a country that refuses to actually do right by their people. If Nigeria had addressed the concerns that was expressed by President Trump regarding the Christian, regarding some other things, I don't think we will be in this list. I don't think we'll be on this list. But sadly, we have leaders who don't actually care about us. And because they have diplomatic passports, their children have diplomatic passport, they are citizens of America, they can go and come back. So the decision will only affect ordinary people like us. Sadly,
yeah, he got a boot.
America will do everything to protect their citizens, and that is what a country should do normally.
He got the boost.
But hey, Nigeria is a country that does not have leadership.
Breaking news, the US government has suspended B1, B2, FM, and J visas for Nigerian nationals. I say congratulations. When you read something like this, the first reaction is anger. And I get it. Because it feels like an entire country is being punished for problems that most ordinary people have nothing to do with. I'm not a terrorist. Now here they pay people pass. Yes, Nigeria has security issues. Nobody is denying that. Boko Haram, ISWAP, banditry, these things are real. We are all aware of it. We are complaining about it. But the truth is, terrorism is not a Nigerian identity. It's a failure of leadership and governance. There are criminals in America, UK, France, but nobody shuts down their citizens completely, right? Now let's talk about the visa overstay numbers they're always throwing around. Overstay is not a crime of violence. It's an immigration problem. People overstay visas because of fear, instability back home, or because they already built a life abroad. There are just so many reasons people don't want to go back home when their visa expires. But it's not terrorism. So then to use that as a blanket excuse to suspend students, tourists, families, and professionals, come on, that's lazy policy. Trump, yourself, check out. What hurts the most is the student visa. FM and J. These are young people trying to learn, build skills, and contribute to the society. Doctors, engineers, tech people, researchers. You're blocking the very people who could help rebuild Nigeria and even help America. It doesn't make sense. And let's be very honest. Nigeria exports talent. Everywhere Nigerians go, they work hard. They innovate. They hustle legally. So when policies like this come out, it sends a message. It says, we don't see individuals, we only see risk, we see terrorists, we see this. And that's a dangerous thinking. Here's an uncomfortable truth that Nigerians also need to hear. Our government has failed us. If Nigeria worked, nobody would be risking their lives, future, facing this kind of embarrassment just to travel. If systems were strong, nobody would overstay. So yes, external policies are unfair, but internal failure opened the door. This shouldn't turn into America hates Nigeria. No, this should turn into Nigeria needs fixing. Nigeria needs an overhaul. Security needs improvement. Until trust improves, other countries will keep making decisions like this. Shameful and embarrassing decisions. So my final thought is this. Nigerians deserve to be judged as individuals, not stereotypes. And Nigeria deserves leaders that won't keep putting its people in position where the world looks at them suspiciously, accuses them, throw them left and right, and make all these shameful policies. That's really it. No insults, so just stating facts.
Imagine waking up and finding out that your US visa has been canceled. No explanation, no warning, just gone. According to The Guardian, the US Embassy in Nigeria has quietly started revoking valid visas issued to Nigerians, including professionals, entrepreneurs, and even government officials. We're talking people with spotless travel histories, a prominent journalist, a federal agency head who was about to speak at an international event, an Abuja entrepreneur who's never overstayed a visa, all of them canceled. Some of them only found out at the airport when they were ready to board. A few were briefly detained by immigration officers before being turned back. The cancellation letters they received basically cited Title 22 Code of Federal Regulation, that new information became available after the visa was issued. But they don't tell you what exactly that new information is. There is no evidence, no right to appeal, nothing. So what's really going on? Is there a quiet crackdown on Nigerians? Because nobody is saying anything. Not the US Embassy, not our own government. Let's talk about it. Do you think this is fair? Or what exactly do you think is going on? Tag someone who needs to see this. And don't forget to follow your girl Sassy Funke for updates that protect your travel plans. If you're Nigerian and planning to travel to the US in 2026, don't scroll. This affects entry into the US. This is not social media gist. This is from an official US government announcement. Here is what it says. Entry into the US is suspended for Nigerians on all immigrant visas and on these non-immigrant visas only. B1, B2, B1, B2, FM, and J visas. No visa is being canceled or revoked. The rule is about entry, not canceling visas. The suspension applies to Nigerians who are outside of the US on January 1st, 2026, and do not already have a valid visa in those categories. Other non-immigrant visas are not suspended, but their validity may be shorter. Comment USA, and I'll share the official documents and explain how this affects your situation. And don't forget to follow your girl Sassy Funke for travel updates Nigerians actually need.
I know damn Nigeria.
So United States President Donald Trump have added Nigeria to travel ban list. It's actually a partial travel ban list. Nigeria, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and 12 other countries. I think it was actually 39 countries, but some of them have full restriction, which includes Sierra Leone, but Nigeria on a partial restriction. So it means that those who are seeking for new visa, there is no way for you. there is no way for you. The only people who are permitted from Nigeria now to enter US are those people with existing visa, sports people, diplomats, and all green card holders. For those of you who are seeking to go there, maybe for tourists, business, you know, if you enter, you cannot enter. And they say the reason is because they find it difficult to do screening because of what is happening in Nigeria, security and what's not. And again, Nigeria actually have a high rate of overstay in USA. So for now, that they are not accepting non-immigrants to US, I think it's actually a partial, is a temporary thing till Nigeria find a way to work on their security issue. Honestly speaking, if me say poor people, innocent people will suffer. I just wish that they will do it in such a way that you see all these our presidents, all these our politicians, their leg no go touch them. But some of them actually have paper. Some of them actually have paper. Since they no one use our sense. UAE don't ban Nigeria since this one again. Which way? Nigeria, which way? Which way? I don't even know at this point if we still get president. I don't know. I don't know what is going on with our president. She will get president because of recent now. I don't know they hear anything again from him. What's it happen? Anyway, Sha. So if you are hustling, applying for US visa, go enjoy your Christmas obole because Donald Trump have put a partial restriction, travel ban on Nigerians, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and 12 other countries. Partial. This one is partial. Some people actually have full travel ban restriction, but Nigeria now this thing. So if you the hustle, make you enter US. Go and enjoy your Xmas obule. Donald Trump don't cut them off. It is what? It is well with us. So we just pray that one day Nigeria will get the help that we need. That one day we will get security. One day, Nigeria will turn to one of the best countries. We pray and hope. Don't know if it will happen in my generation because how old are they?
That voice.
Or my grandchildren generation. I don't know. But we keep praying and hoping that Nigeria gets better. It is well.
Nigerians to face a permanent ban if you submit a false document, according to the U.S. Embassy. Now, according to the press statement, the embassy cautioned visa applicants against falsifying information or submitting fake documents during the visa application process. Visa fraud has serious consequences. Lying or providing fake documents can lead to permanent visa bans under U.S. immigration law, the embassy said. The warning came as the United States ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Richard Mills, met with Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Yusuf Tuga, to discuss bilateral relations and areas of cooperation between both countries. The embassy added that the United States looks forward to continuing its partnership with Nigeria on issues of mutual interest. So as a Nigerian who is aspiring to travel to the US, please get your documents legit. Yes, any mago, you'll be banned for life. US, no go smell them. All right? And you're welcome.
Is Burner Boy here on visa?
Y'all, well, this is it. This permanently bans them from coming. It's mainly Nigeria, but there are, of course, other countries, but the bulk of it is Nigeria. And, you know, I think we know why, because they are the ones doing the most scamming, providing the fake degrees and lying about their credentials. And the biggest fake degrees are the nurses, the doctors, and engineers. You know, they want the big old high-paying positions when they get over here, even if they are not eligible for that. And they're putting a stop to it. And you see the UK, I did the live on that about a month ago where they're asking the Nigerian nurses to leave their country because there were so many with fake nursing degrees and certificates.
Remember, those are the same ones that was telling us when we said we're going to boycott the African businesses. They said, we're going to boycott treatment for you. No more treatment. We will not treat you FBAs in the hospital. Because there's a lot of Nigerian nurses and practitioners and our CNAs. They said, we're not going to treat you no more. Assisted living home care workers. We're not going to treat you no more. You said you're going to boycott our business. We're not going to treat you no more. Yeah, they smart as hell, too. But they can apply that smartness to rebuilding their homeland.
They want them gone.
Yep.
And there, you know, that one woman was right. Nobody wants them in their country.
Nope.
Nobody wants these Nigerians.
Nobody wants them.
Everywhere they go, they get kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
And now the visa, that's just the beginning. And Donald Trump signed that just 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that got visas from this point on, even if they were planning on coming and already paid for schooling and everything, it doesn't matter. They can't come.
Jabs in the building.
Even if they got hired for a job and they were on their way here to start that job, they can't come. They can't come.
They're not be able to come back here.
It doesn't matter. So there were a lot of students that were planning to come to school here in 2026. They can't come to school here now. Like I said, why can't y'all just go to school in Nigeria? Why can't you just find work in Nigeria?
Right.
You know, this is your time now that you're getting kicked out of virtually every country around the globe. Why don't you take this time to fix up Nigeria? You know, what's the point in running everywhere else when you can stay right there and fight your government to get things the way you want and fix up Nigeria? Here's your big chance to do it. Why be smart outside of your country and stupid inside your country?
Right.
Fix up your country. Get rid of all the terrorists, Boko Haram, run them people off. Get rid of them.
Right.
You know, I don't understand how you can make life better for yourself everywhere else except for Nigeria. Now you can do it. Now you're not going to be able to run anywhere else. And because of all the scamming and everything and the crimes y'all commit everywhere you go, y'all ain't going to really be able to run beyond Nigeria.
Nothing but facts.
Y'all not going to be able to run anywhere else. So you're not going to have a choice but to do something in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. They look good. They need
And you heard what they said, and the U.S.
homeland
permanently canceled all their visas and said they don't even have to give them an explanation. Don't have to give you an explanation, just canceled it. So it's going to be a lot of them that were planning to come here that can't come here at all, ever.
Doors are closed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They're going to get around to deporting them out of here. They're on the Somalis and they're about to get to the Haitians. And you can best believe they're going to get around to the Nigerians up in here, too. They already going to get, and and they're still on the Latinos. Because if you go out on TikTok, you can still see some very recent ICE raids on Latinos. They're still going after their butts hard. So they never let up on the Latinos. They are going after them real hard. So the Somalis, they have just started on them a few weeks ago, and they already gave the warning call to the Haitians. So as of February, it's on with the Haitians. It is on.
Barbecue will love that.
Y'all, it's going to be a crazy year. But Donald Trump ain't playing.
Nope.
Not when it comes down to getting these immigrants out of here. He's not playing. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude
Thank you, Lisa. All right, Lady Tay, what are your thoughts on the 85,000 Nigerians visas getting revoked? There's no tangibles in it.
Local election for me to vote. And I had a personal dislike for the people running it abroad.
No, we're not on tangibles. We're on the Nigerian visas getting revoked.
Like my folks now, sway me because I'm just so adamant. You know, that I don't want certain people like this product. The coffee show.
Nigerians? Lady Chad's like sleepwalking. Oh, you gotta go back to your homeland, Nigerians. Go fix it up. You have to hold your own in Gucci soup. We're not coming out caping for you. Remember, y'all told us y'all wasn't black. Y'all worked so hard. And y'all so smart. So since you so hard working and so smart, and go apply that to your homeland. Like we said, go run Boko Haram out. Go fight your government. The government, it's the government, it's the government, it's the government. And get the hell out of our country. And no, you can't come back in. So yeah, shout out to the dump for that. Get your scamming, fleeing, tether asses on. So next topic is Trump expanded immigration restrictions on these countries. So Tariq is going to expound upon this and tell us the other countries that have been restricted or banned.
Subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
All right, we in here. Oh, yes, we are. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for you. We are in here. Glad to have all of you in here. I ain't been on in a few days here. I've been on TikTok, as we now call it, Tariq Talk, because I done took over TikTok. Over there smashing down on TikTok. Well, y'all got to tune in to some of those TikToks. But nevertheless, we're here. I didn't forget about you, beautiful people. I have not forgotten about you over here on in the Twitter projects. All right. I haven't forgotten where I came from. I'm coming back to the hood to pass out turkeys right now. This is what the Twitter is the project. I'm out here to do a food drive. Listen, let me shout out to some of the family. Let me shout out some of the family real quick, because we up in here deep. FBA Furball in the building. Brother Wayne, brother Grimes TV, Miss Paris, the lovely Stephanie, the legendary brother Marcel, who's in HC6, looking good in HC6. We got Black Alpha, who's kicking ass in HC6. I can't wait for y'all to see that. You know what? We're going to have the trailer for HC6 up the beginning of January. I think I might do an event at the museum too. I think we're going to world premiere the trailer at the museum and just make it a special event, because these people are spitting fire. So we got to make this a special event. This ain't gonna be no regular degula. We're gonna have to have some at the museum, because we're spitting massive fire. Who else we got? Shout out to everybody in here. Boss Man in the building. hip hop, Welsing.
Exactly.
All right, and the lovely Sweets down there. I see you. All right, and we're in here. And I'm early. Usually I come on late, but I'm early.
Yeah, he came on super early.
I'm early right now, so we can chop it up like we need to. So many things we got to touch on. First thing I got to touch on, Trump just did a speech today, right before I went on. I haven't seen it. I got to analyze it, and I'll probably touch on that tomorrow.
From Black News.
But we got to talk about some new travel bans that the White House has issued. They've issued some new travel bans. They've expanded the travel bans to hit 39 countries. All right. They've expanded everything. The countries now that have full or partial restrictions are Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan. What's up, Myron Gaines? Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, Venezuela, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, South Sudan. Again, what's up, Myron?
Right.
Syria, Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Dominica, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Senegal, Tanzania, Togo, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, and a partial restriction to Nigeria.
That's 24.
Damn.
Damn.
Man. It's getting heavy out here. A lot of African countries. A lot of African countries are getting hit. And
he needs to go.
They hit Nigeria.
Yeah, Benin.
They hit Nigeria with the ban. And with Nigeria, the travel restrictions are basically, there's a partial entry ban. There's certain visas that's affected. Certain immigrant visas, some non-immigrant visas in certain categories, B1 visa, B2 visas, F visas, M visas, J visas, that exchange visitor thing. So they cited they're doing this because of security concerns, vetting disability difficulties, high visa overstay rates, so people coming over here scamming their way in here and not going through the proper channels. So yeah, man, it's getting kind of thick for all the people who came over and they thought they can kind of talk greasy to us and talk kind of crazy at the foundationals, like they had it like that. They thought they were going to be good money.
Yeah, they did.
Very interesting. We don't wish bad on anybody. But damn. I mean, let's look at the irony here. A lot of these people, let's talk about some of the Nigerians for a minute, because that's the one that really rattled a lot of folks. That partial ban on Nigeria, that rattled a lot of people. And we've been having issues with a lot of disrespectful Nigerians who's been disrespecting foundational Black Americans. So we got to touch on the irony of this. See, this happening right now, that ends the illusion of untouchability. See, for years, a lot of, not all, because we got some cool Nigerians. I will always say that. We got some Nigerian brothers and sisters who are actually cool. Unfortunately, we got so many damn disrespectful people of Nigerian ancestry who are extremely disrespectful and tetherish. And a lot of them, when they get here, especially the anchor babies, they get under the assumption that U.S. access was guaranteed and permanent, and now these restrictions are hitting them.
To come here, it's not all right.
Some of their relatives are getting, locked out. Now they want to act shocked. See, disrespect comes with real world consequences. See, a lot of these people felt real comfortable disrespecting foundational Black Americans inside America on social media, in schools, in the workplace, in cultural spaces, because they really thought that there wouldn't be no consequences. But the thing is, we had a delineation movement, and this is why these people are so upset with the delineation. Do you understand? This is why, right here, You want to know why people keep whining and crying about foundational Black Americans delineating? This is the reason why. Because they understand we have always been their political and cultural muscle.
Yep.
We've been protecting them politically, culturally, socially. Now that we're not doing that, the wolves are getting them.
Yeah.
Things are going down bad. You understand?
Yeah.
So they thought we weren't going to just sit it out on them. Yeah, we're sitting it out because disrespect, it comes with real world consequences.
Right.
A lot of these folks, they felt real comfortable and now they're uncomfortable. And because we ain't sitting up here with the capes and people got to fend for themselves, it ain't really working for them. Because you're seeing they ain't got the political, the social, and the cultural muscle like that. And let's be very clear, foundational Black Americans, we're not guests. That's why people keep trying to drag us into all this stuff. We're not guests at nothing. We are constant. We are the foundation. We are the permanent population here. So yeah, none of that stuff affects us. That's why people keep trying to drag us in the conversation. You have to help us because you're going to be next. No, we're not. No, we're not going to be next. Nothing is. We're fine. And if anything happens, we're gonna stand on business as we always do. You understand?
That's what this punk ass get.
See, cultural disrespect, it was enabled by access. See, open access to U.S. education, visas, work programs, asylum pathways, people coming to the HBCUs, the Pan-Africanists sitting up here enabling a lot of this damn disrespect. Let's be real, a lot of these Pan-Africanists, they've been the ones helping to enable this stuff, a lot of the disrespect from the non-FBAs, because we have been told that we should let them disrespect us and we ain't supposed to say nothing for the sake of unity.
Hell no, them days are up.
And we haven't checked these people. We haven't made them accountable, and we've let them undermine us in many, many ways, and we're just not doing it anymore. And the Pan-Africans don't get to be the little monetized gatekeepers where they basically shut us up so they can go over to Africa and do Elmina Casa tours and do little African tours and sell shea butter. Yeah, they got their little monetized hustle going on with the Pan-African thing, where they're raising money for bando schools. And you know what I'm saying? That little Pan-African hustle, yeah, that's drying up because, yeah, the delineation movement is too powerful right now. I'm not throwing shade at nobody, by the way. I'm just speaking in general. I'm not throwing shade at anybody. I'm not doing that. But it's a different vibe. It's a new day, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all share this space. Y'all give me.
Getting rejected at MFAT. So Amaru is not, yeah, so what's happening, David?
Turning Point did a smart thing. They're not allowing Muslims into their conference.
So he's not being allowed in. Security is, he's calling nobody because no one's going to help him get in. So I don't know who he thinks he's calling. But yeah, we got 1 security, 2, 3, and the event security. And he's calling, I think he's calling like Andrew Tate to help him get in or something. Nope, not gonna happen, bud. Yeah, he's like, I'm right here at the corner. Just come get me. But he has no chance.
That's what his punk ass get. Thanks for sharing that, crew.
and the Pan-Africans don't get to be the little monetized gatekeepers where they basically shut us up so they can go over to Africa and do Elmina Casa tours and do little African tours and sell shea butter. Yeah, they got their little monetized hustle going on with the Pan-African thing, where they're raising money for bando schools, and you know what I'm saying? That little Pan-African hustle, yeah, that's drying up because the delineation movement is too powerful right now. I'm not throwing shade at nobody, by the way. I'm just speaking in general. I'm not throwing shade at anybody.
Go home.
I'm not doing that.
Go home.
But it's a different vibe. It's a new day, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all share this space. Y'all give me a retweet. Y'all give me a retweet.
Yeah.
See, right now, the power dynamic has shifted, ladies and gentlemen. See, for a long time, a lot of these folks, they spoke down on FBAs while relying on Foundational Black American to open doors for them.
Yeah, the days are over.
So now, all we're doing is sitting down and staying out of it. We are in it. We ain't in it. And now, people are seeing that these streets ain't really safe for them like they thought it was.
Right.
It ain't really cool out here in these streets on the political realm without us backing you up. You understand? So hostility towards a host culture, that's never a winning strategy.
Never.
And again, we're forcing accountability for a lot of anti-FBA hostility. And for a long time, these people running around here calling us lazy, criminal, cultureless, inferior.
All that, man.
And we I don't know why we tolerated this stuff for so long, because we didn't want to seem divisive. We didn't want to seem like we're checking people who are melanated. But after a while, we realized we can't have people insulting the foundational population.
Right.
And them expecting uninterrupted privilege.
Right.
Yeah. Also, we started to see what the conversations were really like with a lot of these folks.
Yep.
We sitting up here, our brother, oh, we all in this together, our brother, our sister. And then we start just really listening to people, and we're all types of akatas and crackheads and baby mamas, and we eat Popeyes and the shit. After a while, people are just gonna wake up and say, hey man, enough is a damn enough.
Yeah,
so the tethers like to sit up here and act like some weird thing happened.
Getting deported.
Tariq Nasheed tricked you to hit us. You can't blame me. All right, y'all stop trying to blame me. I didn't trick nobody. I didn't do no hoodoo. I didn't manipulate people into not liking you. People just saw the disrespect and people started to act accordingly. People started to check in with each other and say, hey man, you've been disrespected by these people? Yeah, have you been disrespected by these people? So everybody just got together and just got on code. Yeah? Everybody got together and got on code. And now people are kind of cop and please.
Yep.
Have you noticed?
Yep.
You know, some of the Somalians, they've been calling up, hello, can we have a truce? Can we all have an understanding, my nigga? Can we have a ceasefire? No, we're not at war with nobody. We're not at war with anybody. We're just chilling. Ain't no ceasefire. Just handle your business. Handle business.
Right.
We don't have a problem with nobody. So we got Austin the Tether in here. Well, let's get Austin the Tether. Now, Austin is a tether who pretends to be FBA. I think he might be a white man. He's definitely not FBA. He might even be Somali or something. Austin, what's happening, man? I don't really like getting Austin on without getting him on camera, but I'm not on TikTok right now. Austin.
What's up, Tariq?
What's going on, Austin? How are you, bro?
Yo, I got a question for you, bro.
Yes, sir.
What exactly does the foundational and foundational Black Americans mean?
It means just what it means. We are the foundational population. Everything was built off of us. Everything, without any exception.
How did you build anything? Tell me how that.
We built literally the foundation of this country. Everything came out of our labor. Everything. Okay, name one thing. You slow down. Don't start trying to troll. Name one thing in American society that did not come out of foundational Black American labor.
Go.
Industrialization.
That came out of our labor, so that's
No, it did not. No, it did not.
you know, a tether and I say so.
Most Black Americans
A
couldn't
tether and I say so don't work like that, sir. They had to create the industrialization to process all of the raw materials that we were cultivating, sir. Even the process of getting things up to the industrialized part of the United States, which was most likely up here in New York and the upper states. We were the ones building the railroads and other industries, sir. So yes, industrialization was born out of us as well, sir. Right? There would not have been industrialization without foundational Black American labor. Not only,
That's just the
no, you don't do I'm a tether and I say so. Not only that, sir, the inventions that help facilitate industrialization, we were inventing those as well. Elijah McCoy, Granville T. Woods, Lewis Latimer, sir. Yeah, so we were part of all of that, sir. Do you understand? Hello, Austin. Austin, unmute your microphone. And we don't do I'm a tether and I say so. It's not. No. We got to bring scholarship.
Dude, you keep muting.
Yeah, but
me,
because
dude.
you're not going to talk over me, right? You're not going to talk over me. But go ahead.
You don't understand. Most FBAs were in the South, where it was more agriculture. It was not. The South wasn't industrialized like that. It was the North, and you guys were not.
We've been in the North from the very beginning, sir. Even New York. We were in New York when New York was established, sir. We literally built Wall Street. Did you know that? We built Wall Street. Do you know that, sir?
You guys built Wall Street? Is that really? Did you really? So if your labor was so intensive and was so useful, why don't you guys work in those industries now? Why don't FBAs work in those industries now?
Sir,
goddamn illegal.
Those industries have been flipped, remixed, unionized. This is why they created one. Don't talk over me. Don't ask me a question and then talk over me. Okay. Okay. Thank you. We're not doing that. Okay. Yeah. Because all you're doing is asking bad faith questions. Because now when you see that we can answer this shit you're saying, you want to start talking over people and move the goalposts. So you're trolling, sir. All right. Because you don't want to know the answer. You're just trying to come in here and wipe your ass on the curtains. You're trying to vandalize the room. So you're not going to just act in bad faith. All right. Because all of these things can be answered, but you're not just going to keep talking over me. You're not just going to keep moving the damn goalposts and talking over me. Yeah, a lot of these industries, they started to get unionized. This is why they started to bring over white Europeans to etch us out of those jobs, because after slavery, we had all the skills. That's why after slavery, we started kicking ass, building our own towns all over the place, because we had all the damn skills. They said, we got to slow this down a little bit. So let's bring over some European immigrants. Or let's have them come over here and get into some of these industries, because these black folks are doing the most. Yeah, so we got etched out of it deliberately because we were becoming very powerful. Even now, out of certain job industries, this is why they do the immigration thing. They let over tethers like Austin and others to undermine us in the workplace, because they know that some of these foreigners will come in. They're going to work for much cheaper labor wages. They're not going to demand dental and medical and 401k plans. So they know that's going to be a cheap source of labor. So they undermine us now. All right. So that's the answer to that. So I don't want to hear tether babble. I do not want to hear tether babble. All right. Yeah, Austin. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, you too easy and it's light work. It's too easy and it's light damn work for you. All right. Y'all share the space, everybody. Share this space. But family, yeah, a little disrespect from little tethers like him. There's a lot of jealousy with people like him, because he has to pretend to be FBA. And a lot of these guys, I want y'all to understand, there's a lot of resentment from these people who have to come over and basically cosplay as us. You understand? Because we've been going in on one of these tethers on social media today. This Nigerian anchor baby who's kind of a known troll. I don't even want to mention his name, but he's a tether who's from Baltimore. And he does a lot of lie snitching. You know, I told y'all about Baltimore. I told y'all Baltimore, you got to watch out for people in Baltimore. And shout out to Baltimore. There's some cool people from Baltimore, but the reality is Baltimore is the snitch informant capital of the United States. And everybody in the streets kind of know that. Baltimore is just flooded with snitches and informants. That's what the show The Wire was about. Why y'all think they called it The Wire? You know, somebody who's undercover, somebody who's a fed, you're wearing a wire. Boston is a fed, not Baltimore, I'm sorry. Baltimore is fed capital, especially because its proximity to DC. They do a lot of experiments, the federal government and the FBI, they do a lot of experiments with their feds and their informants out there that they can't do in DC. DC, they kind of have to be a little careful with their undercovers because DC is already a federally regulated city. But Baltimore, they got a lot of these informant ass dudes out here. That's where the Stop Snitching movement came out of, because there were so many snitches out there and informants instigating crimes. The civilians was like, hey, stop snitching, stop working for the police, instigating crimes in the community in order to twist people up. Baltimore is snitch capital, it's informant capital, it's fed capital. And especially if you got a tether from Baltimore, that's double, because tethers are some of the biggest feds too. They're big feds and informants as well. You know, they run around here lie snitching because it's easy to flip them. All you got to do is threaten their visa, threaten their immigration. You think these folks won't flip and do whatever? All you got to do is threaten to send them or one of their relatives home. All right? So they've always used the tether class as informants. That's why all that lying and trying to undermine our spaces. And yeah, they don't have a guilty conscience about it either. That's another thing. Getting the tether class to be informants, yeah, they're not going to have a guilty conscience about doing it. You know? So they're the perfect informants. You have them come around us and try to blend in and then go give information or come in and try to undermine. So there's no conscience about that. While they're trying to look like us. Now they got to cover up them hairlines and all that stuff, but you know, they try to cosplay as us. But now that we are delineating and we're letting folks know, hey man, this dude over here, you look kind of different. Where are you from? Oh, they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like us asking questions about where the hell they're from, because you notice that when you ask them that, they get all bent out of shape. When we recognize, because not right now, because of the delineation movement that's happening right now, that FBA third eye is wide open. And I know some of y'all, when you're out and about, can't you just spot a tether from a mile away at this point? When y'all out and about, family, don't, especially if you're on the East Coast, can't you at this point, your third eye, your FBA third eye is so wide open, you can spot a tether a mile away. You out and about and you're like, oh damn, that nigga got on some three-piece suit and some flip-flops. Okay, well, I wonder what part of Senegal he from. When you out and about, you can tell. You see little stuff. You can see it. You riding a train and you see somebody on the train with a crooked wig. You know, oh, damn. Okay, she must be from Burkina Faso or something. So you're thinking that to yourself. You think, okay, these are some non-FBAs in here. You see one of them hairlines. You're like, oh, that nigga from Uganda somewhere with that. So your third eye is open now. So the fact that these people can't really blend in like they think they can, and we start asking them, hey brother, how you doing, man? What part of Africa you from? What is this shit? What do you mean? I wasn't being offensive, brother. You look like you from Africa or something. What is this xenophobic shit? That's xenophobic. I'm a Black American. I'm from here. I was born in Chicago. But brother, I'm not trying to be offensive, but you got on a G-Unit tank top and you musty. So yeah, you're not really from Chicago. You might have been born there, but you're from somewhere else. Just for the sake of conversation, sir. But they get offended when we realize that they're not of the lineage. You know? And you have people like this one cat, again, this dude, he sells like vintage clothes, and he's made a lot of tweets that people have been checking him on. He's made a couple of tweets. What did he say? He was like, what did he say? I'm looking at some of his tweets. He made some tweets about UK actors. He said UK Black actors do theater and they tap in deep into their roles. Black American actors today watch Training Day 800 times and think that'll teach them how to act. Niggas need to start being honest with themselves. So he was trying to denigrate Black American actors and big up UK Black actors. And everybody got on his bumper, because the reality is those UK actors, they got to come over here and start taking damn voice classes to sound like us. So what are you talking about? Dude, you're not going to sit here and act like we don't have phenomenal theatrically trained actors who went to Juilliard and all of these prestigious schools. Brother Denzel, Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker. Man, like we don't have phenomenal FBA actors over here doing the damn thing. David Allen Greer, who's a phenomenal actor. Yeah. So people got on this bumper with that jealous tether babble. You understand? And then he had another tweet. He was like, I was born in Baltimore in the early 90s. I didn't jump into Black American culture. I am Black American culture, which is why my Instagram has 120K followers and your favorite rappers follow it. Okay, this is major tethering, and everybody got on his bumper about that. That's what I'm talking about. That's aggressive tethering to the point of, now he's trying to come in and actually act as a representative for Black Americans. When they start talking like that, that's that hostile tether takeover talk. Yeah. And let me explain. People think like that when they try to be like, yeah, I'm Black American now that I was born here. I'm Black American. Yeah, I'm just like y'all. I'm just like y'all. No, no, you're not just like us.
They're not like us.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Let's be very, very clear. You coming over here, you're basically just an American citizen of Nigerian ancestry. You're not a foundational Black American. So you better understand the difference between citizenship and ethnicity. Citizenship doesn't equal ethnicity. Being born in the United States, that grants legal citizenship, but that's not an ethnic membership. All right, let's get these people straight with the language here. See, foundational Black Americans, you know, our lineage is tied to the foundation of this country. We had an ethnogenesis. Again, a Nigerian American, you're just born in the U.S. as an American citizen of Nigerian descent. You know, just like a U.S. born Italian is not ethnically Irish. You know, ethnicity, that's about shared historical formation, not just paperwork. You understand? See, foundational Black American, that's an ethnogenesis. That's not just a skin color. See, we're the result of a distinct ethnogenesis that happened centuries ago on this soil. You understand? Nigerian immigrants and their children, you enter in an already formed society. You do not descend from the people who endured chattel slavery, fought it, and stood on business and never made a deal. You know, so you don't get to retroactively insert yourself into an ethnogenesis you didn't come from. You see? See, that cultural fluency, that's not no ancestral inheritance. See, trying to assimilate into Black American culture, you know, speech patterns, music, humor, dress, that doesn't equal ancestral membership. You see, the culture can be learned, but the ethnic lineage cannot. If cultural adoption, if that was enough, then anybody raised around Jews would be Jewish. Anybody raised in Japan would be ethnically Japanese. So that logic is rejected everywhere else, and it's rejected with us. Yeah? Come on now. Let's be very, very real here. See, respecting foundational Black American identity, that doesn't, that don't erase your Nigerian identity. All right? So bottom line, being born to Nigerian parents in the U.S., that makes you an American of Nigerian descent, not a foundational Black American. We are different, ladies and gentlemen. We are different. Yeah, we're melanated and we have woolly hair and all of that, but we have a different spiritual energy. You understand? We have a different spiritual energy. Not to say good or bad or right or wrong. We have a different spiritual energy. That's why when y'all see foundational Black, you know when you're around foundational Black Americans. You know that. You know the energy. We have the mindset of standing on business, not fleeing, standing up to oppression, standing on resistance. Yeah, we have a different energy. Whereas some of these other people, now you look at white supremacy a little bit different. A lot of these people who are non-FBAs, even if they were born here from a non-FBA lineage, you look at white supremacy different. You were taught, even in your household, whiteness was something that you're supposed to damn near worship. Not all of you, but a lot. In your household, you were taught that the white people are damn near angels who came to save you. They fed your village back home. So yeah, you leave the white people alone. We don't think like that. You understand? Not to denigrate anybody's lineage or culture, no, but we have a different vibe when it comes to dealing with white supremacy. You understand? And a lot of these people, they have resentment when they come around us and they have to cosplay us, like that dude we're talking about. He has to come over here and cosplay foundational Black American street culture. And what happens, that when you cosplay somebody's culture, that creates a quiet humiliation. And then that humiliation turns into passive aggressiveness. When somebody feels like they must mimic another culture so they can be respected, internally, they register that as, well, I gotta swallow my pride, because in my household, I'm told that we're supposed to be better than the Makadas. They were just descendants of slaves, and yeah, we know where we came from, but when I go out here in the world, I have to emulate those guys. So a lot of the humiliation, it doesn't always come out loud. It comes out sideways, slick little comments about ghetto, lazy, no fathers, no culture, you don't know where you came from, that little passive aggressive stuff. While they benefit from our culture. Yeah? While they benefit from our culture. So a lot of people are upset that we're checking a lot of this disrespectful behavior, as we should have been doing a long time ago.
Yo, what's going on, family? This is Tariq Nasheed down here at the Hidden History Museum in Los Angeles, and you need to come down here to the Hidden History Museum on Saturday, December 20th, 2025 for the Hidden History Holiday Humor Fest. And we're going to have so many great comedians down here. We're going to have complimentary food. We're going to have great music, great drinks, great vibes, great mingling, and it's going down right here at the Hidden History Museum. So come join the biggest party in town to end out the year, and let's end it out in style. 2131 West Jefferson Boulevard. Get your tickets now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. That's hiddenhistorymuseum.com. I will see you here.
Subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
First, I got to give a RIP to actor and director Rob Weiner. Yeah, Rob Reiner. I'm up here mispronouncing the man's name. Rob Reiner. Actor, been acting for a long time. Rob Reiner was, I remember him from All in the Family, Archie Bunker's show. I've been a fan of his work. I grew up watching Rob Reiner, and he's been in a lot of different movies, and he's directed movies, and he produced films and all that. But yeah, him and his wife out here in Brentwood, California, they were found, I got to watch my words here, to death. They were unalived. Unfortunately. That was, that's horrible. From what I understand, from some of the reports, allegedly, they're saying that his son did it. They're saying that the son did it, allegedly. I don't know. There's still reports coming in. And, they said the son allegedly was on the narcotic and the son was dealing with homelessness or whatever. This is just preliminary reports. But yeah, they're saying that his son did it. But that's unfortunate. That's very, very tragic. But yeah, y'all remember Rob Reiner from All in the Family and other movies. So yeah, R.I.P. to that family. R.I.P. to them. Yeah, man. It's the son poked him. I'm trying to watch the words here. It was hard to get into the live. What, here? It's hard to get into the live here? Y'all share the space. Everybody sharing the space. Thank you for the gift, Brother Legendary. American First. Thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. But yeah, we had a great conversation on my YouTube channel. Y'all need to follow me on YouTube. My Tariq Radio YouTube channel. Y'all follow me here too. If you're not following me, y'all hit that follow button. Be sure to follow. And, get the notifications when I come on here and doing the lives. All right, what's up, M. Sherrone? Respect to the family. Still out here, America First is pushing for reparations. Respect to that. Where are my reparationists in here? Raise your hand. If you are fighting and advocating for reparations for foundational Black Americans, raise your hand. Let's see who's who in here. Excuse me. Let's see who's who. You are advocating for reparations. Raise your hand. Yeah, the more we advocate for reparations, have y'all noticed some of the nonsensical things that some of the Pan-Africans are saying? When we represent and advocate for reparations, what's up, Cynthia? Man, some of the Pan-Africanists, they come in and they try to derail the momentum with some asinine nonsense. We started hearing people come around saying, well, we need reparations for all Black people globally, all African people. We is all African, and we need reparations for all African people globally. We don't need to get reparations. We don't need to split it up. Oh, we don't need it. Yeah, we're one big old African family, and we need to just go to the Europeans together and get reparations that way. Have y'all heard nonsense like that? Well, when y'all hear nonsense like that, anybody say something like that, turn the other way and walk away. This person ain't even serious. They're not even serious, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Sister Bridget? Dude, that ain't gonna work. Listen, when folks start talking all of that stuff, this whole, everybody Black on the planet gotta unite globally. And listen, first of all, Africa ain't not just one people. It's thousands of damn nations, tribes, and the whole shebang. Africa has over 3,000 distinct ethnic groups with different languages, cultures, religions, histories, class systems. So expecting a global Black unity, that ignores the reality that Africans themselves, they've never functioned as a single people in Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Unity without shared nationhood, language, or collective interest, that's a fantasy. That's not a strategy. Man, watch out. Listen, when people start talking this Wakanda stuff, and I'm a strategist. I think in terms of reality. I don't do symbolisms, man. I'm all about what's going to work strategically. I ain't with no symbolism. Man. Everything we do got to be strategic. We need results, man. We need results. Damn all that symbolic nonsense. Yeah, we ain't about to sit here and everybody's going to be one big global African. And dude, Africa has the highest internal conflict rate on Earth. No other continent has experienced more civil wars, more ethnic cleansing, more tribal-based violence, more post-independence coups. Man, from Nigeria to Sudan, Ethiopia, Congo, Africans historically, they fought people on that damn continent far more than any other outside group. And if they can't sustain unity within the continent, exporting that non-existent unity, that's going to be unrealistic. That's why they sound dumb when they come in our space and you FBAs, what is this? You're trying to stop the unity. What unity? You're being divisive. From what? The hell? What are you talking about? You know? Yeah, ethnic identity in Africa overrides racial identity. In Africa, people, Yoruba, Igbo, Zulu, whatever, not really black. They're the ones telling us they ain't black. They're black when it's convenient. Yeah. Yeah, the black unity, that's a concept here. The only thing, that's why we're the only ones who get shit popping, because we understand collective unity all across the nation. That's the thing that makes us powerful, ladies and gentlemen, as Foundation of Black Americans. We exchange ideas with each other, and we can be thousands of miles away because we understand we have a shared camaraderie. We have a shared lineage. We have the same spiritual essence, which is the spirit of Majara as Foundation of Black Americans. So we've always understood we have a shared identity to a certain degree here, no matter what region of the country we're in. And I kind of touched on that earlier on my YouTube channel, explaining how we would create dances. A person would make a dance in Ohio, and that dance would be down in Alabama, or a person would do a dance in South Carolina, and that dance a week later be out there in Los Angeles. We just had that nationwide camaraderie because we were family. You understand? And that was powerful for us. We knew we had to depend on each other. We knew we had to network with each other. We knew we had to buy with each other in order to survive. So we just couldn't afford to be split up and tribal. So we knew the importance of looking out for other Black people. We started to extend that to people globally, but it was never reciprocated. We extended that, but what happened was people just came over here instead of us going over there building anything. People would come over here and just leech off of our Black codification. Yeah. Who somebody said FBA United? Are you insane? Yes, we are. Bradford, hop on. Foundational Black Americans. We are united to a certain degree. Bradford, what do you mean we're not united? What's up?
Hey, Tariq, man. First off, with this all bullshit with the Somalians and Trump, where's the white man that signed that check that the Somalians got? They're not getting locked up?
Why did you? Okay, yeah, did you just say shit because you just want to come in trolling? Okay.
No, not trolling. I'm just saying, like,
we're not even talking about that. We're talking. You said something in the comment section, then you came in and.
Yeah. I mean, the FBAs are not as united as other African ethnic groups around the United States.
Like who? Like who we?
I mean, Somalians work as a group, though. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all beat the shit out of each other in Somalia, and you insane?
Yeah, but they're united over here, and then they steal shit together. You know what I mean?
Y'all united to scam, and it's
yeah. I mean,
it's y'all beating each other. Y'all beating the brakes off each other in your home.
I mean, the greatest robbery.
Nothing. I don't want to hear chapter battles. Dude, y'all beating the brakes off each other back in your home. That's why you had to bring your ass over here. Y'all unite to run scams. Yeah. United for scams, yeah, that's something else. Yeah, y'all unite to finesse us out of billions of dollars. Family, y'all know these folks hustled us. They scammed us out of billions. Billions with a B. Yeah, y'all can get together to scam. Good grief. Yeah. Lord. Are we supposed to unite with that? That's what we supposed to unite with? Man, please, these folks finessed us heavily. Shout out to everybody in here. This is what we ain't about to have no big global African identity to get nothing. Let's stop playing. Let's just be real. That's a great idea, but they ain't doing that. Man, these folks, they ain't got no problem exploiting people as a group. You know? And post-colonial Africa is fragmented even further, not less. Even after independence, Africa didn't unite. It splintered even more. You know? Their borders ignored all the ethnic realities. You know, national identities started to be imposed artificially, and ethnic favoritism became state policy. So yeah, it just produced permanent instability. Yeah. And, you know, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, you know, we live under a different legal system. We have different historic traumas. We have different economic positions. We have different political priorities. So again, that further makes it difficult for us to unify under one global African banner. You know? We got to understand that. And the whole global Pan-African reparations payment from European powers, that's not going to work for a few reasons. Because there is no single injured legal party going that route. See, reparations, that requires a clearly defined claimant. You understand? Who is this? What's up, Ava? Hop on in, Ava. See, Black people globally, that's not a legal entity. See, there's no unified government, treasury court, no enforcement mechanism. So European states would immediately just start challenging that. What's up, beloved? How you doing, lady?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. What city you in, dear?
I'm in Chicago.
Shout out to Chicago. You'll be looking sultry, looking like you about to take an album cover picture.
In the 90s.
I know. Yeah. What you doing out there in Chicago, dear?
You said what, honey?
What's going on out there in Chicago? What you got going on out there in Chi?
Absolutely. It's freezing. It is like 3 degrees right now.
Oh, damn.
Feels like negative 18 or something like that. So nobody is outside, but everybody's outside because we do this, you know.
Lord. So how you been, dear?
Personally, I have not been so great, but I'm okay. I'm strapping. I'm working out.
Okay. Now what's going on personally, dear? What's happening?
Do we want to go there?
Let's go.
I don't really want to share.
Go ahead.
Did you have a prompt? Because I would like to respond to something. Because if I get to talk about my own things, we're gonna be trauma dumping all night. I don't want to do that.
Okay. Well, now what's on your mind? We're gonna get back to you, but what's on your mind? We're gonna get back to it now.
So I only know you have a huge name, right?
Yes.
In the Black community.
Yes.
I don't know very much about you and your philosophy. So it's like I know of you, but I know you're not a doctor. There's the he and the ha and then the Miss Yvette. And there's a few different individuals in the space, but I'm not entirely sure what your realm is and what your focus is. I've heard a lot of things about you, not very positive things. So I'm just curious before I try to spew and say something crazy. I don't want to, be misled.
Yeah, if you heard anything negative, it's probably from a tether, probably some non-FBAs saying something crazy, or some alphabet agency. There's a desperate need to try to discredit me. because of my influence. And, you know, I speak truth to power. But, yeah, you know, my work speaks for itself. I've been around for a long time.
Well, I know that. You've been around since I'm a little older now, but you've been around, you're older than me, okay? So I guess you're in the racial space. I really don't know how to say that. But
Yeah. I talk about the empowerment of us, of the Black community, especially foundational Black Americans.
Ain't no damn Asian vibes, buddy, in the comments. Anyway, but so I guess so you see all the divisiveness between Black men and Black women, and all of the advice or the social media that suggests everyone divest. Ooh, don't try to show that off, okay? But like everyone is trying to, well, not everyone, but there's a lot of media suggesting that everyone divest, right?
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Like, I'm not a divester. I've dated other races. I've always felt like if I had to come home, have a child, have a family, I would like to do it with a Black man, a Black American man. I did that.
Now, what media outlets are talking about or advocating for divesting? Because the only ones who really do that are ones run by tethers. Yeah.
I mean, it's like social media. Like, I don't obviously it's not mainstream media, but on social media, you see a lot of the Black women versus Black men, and go find a white woman, go find a white man. And I mean, it's you're bombarded with it daily.
Yeah, those are usually non-FBAs who's on that, for real. I can almost guarantee it. Most of the people who do that, the women, those divestors, those are like African and Caribbean immigrants, most of them. Because FBA women, they ain't really on that like that. A white boy ain't no big deal. You know, FBA women, white boys always trying to holler at them. They have been trying to holler at them since damn slavery. So that's not a thing. But a lot of these other women who have been living in these colonized third world countries, they've been programmed to worship white people. They literally worship them. So it's like a prize to date them. They sit online talking all that divestment thing. And, you know, these are foreigners, generally. Right. So, yeah, that's not our bag. And we call that out. Yeah, we call stuff like that out. Yeah. Now, where's your family from, dear?
My family? Oh, baby, we're what you would say, FBA? Okay. We're all, we can only trace it back to slavery, honey. We all in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, now, where's your man? Where's your man now, dear?
My man?
No,
I'm a single woman.
Okay. How long?
Okay. But it's a unique situation. I have one of those situations where it's like, it would be this way. We live together, but we don't sleep together. In this case, he lives across the street from me, but we're not together. He moved across the street from me. I put him out, and he moved across the street.
Oh, Lord.
Because he wants to be in his son's life. He screwed up royally, and I feel like he wants to spend the rest of his life trying to fix it up and make it up, but he can't.
Oh, wow. So y'all have a baby together?
We have a son, correct.
Okay.
I'm 35 years old. I had my first child. I thought I was doing everything right. This is what I mean about, well, I didn't say it, but the influence or the lack of influence of the impact of a man not having a father or a stable home environment, the failure of the nuclear family in the Black community, he's a direct result of that.
How old is he, by the way?
He's 42.
Okay, got it. How old is your son now? How old is your son?
Our son is only 19 months.
Oh, you just had this damn baby.
Yeah, it's my first child. It's my first and last. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Y'all just going through a little circular spat, man.
No, it's not a circular spat. We don't do what happened when it took place. So we have a person who was like, I have my own trauma, obviously. We all do. Okay. I find that as a Black woman, a lot of us we haven't been loved properly, raised properly, taught how to pick a correct partner, right? a lot of us are looking and we get into that struggle love. Okay. Stop playing with the weird girl. Girl, I'll pull it off. I got more hair than you. I'm assure you. Now.
Go ahead, dear. Go ahead.
Anyway, so a lot of us, we are not actually raised and taught how to properly vet people, men, women, because we don't have a lot of us don't have fathers. A lot of men are not around in our households, right? So we have our mom who's struggling for love. She's desperate. She's thirsty. She's looking for validation. Okay. Angry because she's by herself. Angry because she got a child that she didn't necessarily want to be raising alone. That trickles down to the children, right? Males and female. You know, a lot of men and women, a lot of men, when I said that the whole black men versus black women thing, it trickles from, you know, absent fathers and present mothers who were probably overbearing, angry, not given, you know, a lot of us as children did not have the representation of positivity, you know, of love. We didn't see that growing up. So in my case, and in his case, same as being, when you meet somebody, you don't recognize what's beneficial to you.
Okay.
Right?
So who did he cheat with?
Some baby. I'm not even like, if she was cute, I would say so. It's a young girl. She's younger. She's much younger. She is, I think, now 23. He has sex with her unprotected while I was pregnant.
Did he get her knocked up?
That is the assumption, but we haven't had a DNA test, and it's been that baby was born 3 weeks after mine.
Oh, so she didn't already have the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I didn't find this out though until my child was 10 months or so.
Yeah, okay. I figured it out in just 30 seconds, and I don't.
Yeah. So, I suggest that he go be with the young girl, because the young girl she's in poverty, she's poor, she's unattractive, she needs help. She got low self-esteem. She knew I was pregnant. She slept with you anyway. She got low self-esteem. Her father contacted me, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know you existed, because she's acting very fatherless. What's going on with you, sir?
So is that woman and that child across the street with that man?
No, he literally, so no, he hates that girl, and he hates the fact that ever happened.
Oh Lord.
My thing is, you chose that lady to have sex with, so what the hell, go be with her. Why you move across the street from me and go move across the street from her in Gary, Indiana, where they have those sidewalks?
Man. Lord. Okay.
I mean, and I'm like, you know, why don't you want to be with the girl? Like, because really, it's like, okay, I'm hurt, I'm this, I'm that. It's all, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's a younger girl. She's young. She's in her 20s. She's 23 now, I think. Okay. And my thing is, she's young. She clearly don't love herself. I would not trust her to raise a little girl what she had.
This is her fucking babbling now. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to end the show now. Appreciate everybody that came through. Shout out to DSB. Shout out to Twin. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Cool Reality. Shout out to Dr. Ray Tover. Shout out to that's it. Shout out to all y'all that came through. Tuned in this morning. They don't have 5 sidewalks in Olympia Fields either. Yeah. Crazy. All right, so join us tomorrow for Frontline Black News, season 6, episode 5 or 6? I can't even remember. Episode 7. No, No, 5. Episode 5. Season 6, Episode 5, Part 1. In the meantime, make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka's Black Expansion Hands on Facebook and Twitter. So peace, love, light, reparations, delineations, separations, and black empowerment. Chan Krumah and Lady Chase signing off from the Mile High Income and Legal Migrant for the City. Sorry, Shabaka wasn't able to join us. Hopefully he'll be joining us tomorrow. Peace.